forth from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners, wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
On the news each day, human lives are blown away. Mothers and fathers crying, burying their dead and dying. How many more, I hear them say? Death is the highest price. Death is the total sacrifice. Yep, brothers rather commit suicide than continue with apartheid. Fathers beg me, Father, each day. Tell me, Father, tell me, how many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for liberty? Well, how many more before you set South Africa free, Mr. Botha? How many more must die? How many more? Mistress Thatcher? How many more must die? How many more? Mr. Reagan? How many more must die for their dignity? Well, how many more before you set South Africa free? My people's demand, I quote, is simply one man, one vote. But this was Mr. Botha's answer. Bullets, tear will have no say in South Africa. Help we, Father, help we. How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for their liberty? Well, how many more before they set South Africa free? Mr. Botha, how many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for their dignity? Well, how many more before you set South Africa free, Mistress Thatcher? South Africa today is just a short fuse away from a total confrontation between the black and white man. We want with freedom, may people say. They have made it very plain. No more turning back again. Freedom is the only answer. No compromise, no surrender. Lord, I see it dead in South Africa. Help we, Father, help we. How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die? How many more? How many more must die for their liberty? Lord, how many more before you set South Africa free, Mr. Botha? How many more must die? How many more? How many more?
Wake up, rise up. It's the NETT Radio Breakfast Show. Bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day
How
right.
many more before you set South Africa free, Mistress Thatcher?
Well, that is a very good question. How many more? I tell you, we have really come a long way. But not where we really want to be as yet. We still have a whole lot of ways to traverse down.
Western's hypocrisy
As we get ready to celebrate emancipation
exposed for all to see.
2026.
Going to the greatest extreme.
Want to say a very special good morning to everybody tuning in, tuning on, logging on.
Give
Yeah.
their sympathy to we.
Good morning to all our early risers, the Anthem crew. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here, for showing up.
I say they're the ones to blame. Protecting their vested interests, impeding.
Good morning, Trinidad. Good morning to Tobago, neighbors in the Caribbean. Good day. Our friends and family who are streaming all around the globe. Good day to you, and thank you so much for making us your choice. The Breakfast Show is here with you. I'm yours, Sir Charles.
How many more
Happy am I to be in the space with you as always.
must die for their liberty?
Let me say much thanks as always to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day.
Mr. Botha,
And all that we do, dear God,
more must die.
let it be a blessing on to you.
Thatcher, how many more must die? How many more? Mr.
Everybody, welcome. And of course, yeah, as I said, this is your breakfast show.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here, we bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Morocco's Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Oh, oh, good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Yeah, the breakfast show energy is here. And it's good to know that you are here also. So good morning to you coming in from wherever you may be coming in and different time zones and time slots. We welcome you to the breakfast show. I'm Sir Charles, and of course, thanks to my co-host also for joining us. Richard will join us in between this hour. And of course, Wendell, who's here very early as always.
Morning. Morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers. It's Thursday morning. It's a beautiful morning out. It's a sunny morning. It probably will be another hot day. I think yesterday was one of the hottest days that we've had for a while. I don't know what the temperature actually was, but I do know it was extremely hot. Air conditioned units took a battering yesterday. But anyway, and at some point in time there was a drizzle, and like that didn't help, no? Yeah. It was extremely hot yesterday. Well, I spent most of the day in Port of Spain yesterday, but it was extremely hot.
I heard a lot of people saying that yesterday was hot. But although, I was not outside yesterday. So I didn't really get the opportunity to experience that heat, but I was cool.
Yeah. But let me just get my birthday greetings out of the way. Today is Avalon Romani's birthday, aka Red Rasta. She always listens to this show. Happy birthday, Red Rasta. That's what you like to be. You used to have a show.
Yeah, I've been from her for a while.
Yeah. She jumps on the chat every now and then, but I know that she never misses the show. So happy birthday, Avalon. Happy birthday also to Rachel Batiste. She works at the Port of Spain Corporation. I think she's still there. And Salian Samaru, she is from Siparia. Nabila Juman, I know that person was a listener to our previous show. And also too, Palm Embers is celebrating her birthday today. Look at it. Happy birthday, Mr. Ember. And anyone else celebrating a birthday today? Today is July 30th. And tomorrow is my very good friend Ainsley Ramgo's birthday. So just in case you didn't know, tomorrow is Ainsley's birthday. He is always July 31st. This lucky guy, to have a birthday the day before a public holiday. And he always has a party. So if you know where Ainsley living, go by him tomorrow. He will be having a party. I'm sure about that.
You're sure to find a shindig taking place.
Yeah. He loves to celebrate. He celebrates life, but he especially loves to celebrate his birthday. I know it will be a tough birthday for him because he lost his son not too long ago. You know what I mean? But I'm sure he'll find a way to celebrate it nonetheless, because his son would have been right there in the middle of his birthday party. Trust me, Nico. So I'm sure I'll remember to greet you happy birthday again tomorrow, Ainsley. All right? But those are my birthday celebrations today. And I'm seeing in the chat, Ingrid is asking about Carol Guevara. We haven't gotten an update on her. You know what I mean? But I trust that all is well. They always say, there's this saying, no news is good news. But I trust she is improving. And I saw another name in the chat that I was so happy to see, because we haven't. I keep asking that worthless boy who does work with us, Richard Ragubasing, about her, but I guess he says that she's okay. But I saw her in the chat this morning. Annie Bunyan. Morning, Annie. So good to see your name in the chat this morning. I haven't seen or heard from you for a while. And another person who we haven't seen or heard from for a while also too is someone who always greets us and always takes part in our competitions, Fran Romani. I haven't seen her in the chat for a while, unless she's changed her name in the chat. But Fran, we haven't seen you in the chat for a little while either too,
Yeah, Fran is one that I studied just a couple of days ago, and I was supposed to call Fran. And it just escaped me because of all the other things. But Fran, I'm going to be calling you, don't worry.
Yeah. I as the appointed chat police, I kind of zone in on people who go missing for a little while, and Fran is one.
Yeah, I can't help it.
Yeah, because we have regulars in this chat that we are so appreciative of every single day. As I said, sometimes that's their only communication with us, just to say good morning, and then we hear from them the next day. And that's good. That's great. We so appreciate that. You know what I mean? We so appreciate that. That, as I said, I insist, regardless of what people think, of greeting every single person in this chat on a morning. Every single person. All right?
Yeah, that's good. It's important to link up, and it
Yeah.
gives the opportunity, really and truly. When people fall out or you don't see them for a while, then you really get to check up on them and stuff, and that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Carol, of course, is one who always greets us, but she's not well, so keep praying for her people. Keep wishing her the best. All right. Morning, Richard.
Good morning, guys. And of
How are you
course, good
doing?
morning. I'm good. Good morning to our listeners and viewers in whatever time zone you are in. Good morning to you, or good afternoon, or good evening. And of course, good morning to my co-hosts, Wendell and Sir Charles. Good morning, guys.
Hi, Richard. How you doing?
Of course, it's Thursday, so put a smile on your face. The weekend begins tonight, people, at a second after midnight. And these days flying. So we are actually at the weekend, the cusp of the weekend already.
Yeah.
So,
What's happening this weekend? I mean, there's the show for Hillary Benjamin. There's Emancipation Saturday and the parade. I saw a most unfortunate post on Facebook. And why am I asking that question? I don't even need to ask that question. I wouldn't even bother. I'll give it no life.
Yeah, what are the why is it cruel? Yeah.
No, why people continue to fan the divisive flames, I do not know. I really do not know.
revel in being. I think that has to be it. Some people revel in being unkind. They revel in saying statements that they hope will go viral, and they revel being just unpleasant to go against the grain, or they are unpleasant human beings. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah.
But people revel in that because you have a choice as an adult and as a human being, even as a child, to do what's respectful and decent or to do the other. And many people in 2026 seem to choose the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard, I always tell people, I guess because of me traveling as often as I do and seeing all manner of people, meeting all manner of people, because in an airport, trust me, you don't even matter going to the country. You just have to be in an airport, and in an international airport, you meet all manner of people. You see all manner of people. You hear all manner of languages. You see all manner of shades, all sizes, any and everybody, you see them in an airport. And sometimes I wonder how these people view the world, how they view other people. I wonder that as somebody who's also viewing them. I wonder how they view me, when they hear the language. Because some of them don't know English, they don't speak English, I wonder how they think, And largely it's just people going about their business, going about seeing the world,
Yeah.
But then again, you have the ones who are so messed up, I don't stay in only place now. Don't go nowhere now. Don't come out and disturb us.
Some people, they take that as some badge of honor, being unpleasant, being unkind in what you say, thinking they can say anything, and there are no consequences to it. And being unkind and whatever you feel to say, you say. And you feel that gives you some badge of honor for being an unpleasant and unkind human being. Since when is that the standard? It's not. Sometimes it seems as if it's, so prevalent, but it's not the standard. And we know it and they know it.
Yes. Yes. Thankfully, there are a lot of people who respond to some of these posts, because it's mostly social media posts, with the knowledge and education that exists to counteract it. But it just is a hate comment, a knowledgeable comment. 2 hate comments, 4 knowledgeable comments. And it's going. I just get fed up sometimes. But anyway, I think we owe it to people to do our good news and then greet the folks in the chat. Chris, to say you are well bacchanal, man, I have to tell you that, You are well bacchanal, man. But he's such a nice guy. But he's well bacchanal. Yeah, what you say? He said, "So Charles, you're on camera this morning. Wow, the woman not looking for you for the child support anymore." He got so. His father not so. His mother not so. He got so.
Oh gosh. Yeah, anyhow, Chris, thank you very much. At the end of it, right? Thank you so much. I passed on the message to Wendell.
Yes. I'll read it later, a little later on.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. No, it's not a read on air, no.
It's not a read on air?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. But
No,
all right, so Chris, thanks a minute.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So we're going for our good news and come back. People.
Yeah. You know what's uncanny about that video? Tell me what you all observed on that video. If you all could quickly say it.
That the dogs and the humans almost look alike in a kind of way.
Yes, Richard. Richard, go to the head of the class.
They have a connection of some sort. You could see it.
That is the most uncanny video I've seen, because I've not seen that video before just now. And the dogs are almost choosing people who look like them.
Yeah, the dogs are choosing their owners.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you go to the adoption or whatever it is center where they have the dogs, and the dogs come out and they look around at everybody and they choose their owners.
And they're choosing people who look like them. That's an uncanny situation. Wow. Amazing. Lovely video. Lovely video. Of course, I do a video of my fishes a day and how they greet me. Because pets there's nothing better than a pet, people, regardless of what. I'm looking at my neighbor the other day and I'm seeing her, the daughter, playing with her, and I'm saying that's not a puppy. So when I eventually saw my neighbor, I asked him, I said, what pet is that? It's a little guinea pig. If you see how this thing look, how cute. Pets are beautiful. If you could get a pet for your children, get one. It doesn't matter. I was teasing my niece the other day because my sister got her, when she was a child, I remember, my sister got her a chicken. A little chick for Easter. That was her pet. Her first pet was a chicken. that grew into a rooster eventually. And I guess I don't know what to do with it. I don't. But that was the first pet.
You're afraid to say how you cook the rooster?
I don't know if they cook. I don't know if they I don't know what they do with it. But I just remember having a chicken as a pet. You know, get your child a pet. It'll be one of the best things you'll ever do for a child. A rabbit, a pigeon, fish, turtles, you know, a puppy. Well, puppies are very popular. Kittens, people do kittens, you know. All manner of things. But get your child a pet. Trust me, you will never regret it. You'll never regret it.
Yeah,
All right.
there are plenty cat people. Many people love cats.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't. I always see cats as a pet that could just turn on you suddenly. I don't know why.
And then you can't keep cat and fish together.
Well, true, eh? Yeah, because sometimes they'll dip their hand in that aquarium and scoop out your fish. You know? Anyway. Oh, birds, cats and birds. Cats and birds don't get along either. You know? Anyway, let's greet the folks in the chat before we go off key with that discussion. Valerie, I done seen him miss the mischievous look on Richard's face, so he just is a kind of warning.
No.
It's almost like a kind of warning, Wendell. Hush. Valerie Mendoza says, good morning, Valerie. That's Miss Davidi. Trinman says, good morning. Kenny in Harlem. Margaret Thomas. John Cato, who is saying grand rising to the Net Breakfast Show crew viewers all over the globe. Odell Guy out there in Sangre Grande. Pamela O'Connor. Apollina Sis Super. Kurt Hope in Nashville, Tennessee. Marcia Rock in Orlando, Florida. Manuela Peters, Diane Payne, Norris Ferguson, Robert Taylor in Fernandina Beach, Marlon Motley in North Valsayn.
Morning, Marlon.
Empress Reyes Lal, don't know where you're from, but you're always on the chat too. Boy B. Daisy from David, I think he's back in David apparently. Enjoyed his birthday with his family in Tobago. Prava Ramdial, good morning. Anne Noel from Oshawa, Ontario. Cathy Ann Charles also saying special morning to Arlene and Stephen. Julia Samantha. Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona. Ian Stewart. Deborah Noel Surrett. Marlene Saunders Sobers. Debbie Modest. Mrs. R.
Good morning, Mrs. R.
I noticed that delay there. I noticed a little delay there. Annie Bunyan. Richard, look, Annie back in the chat. It's not
Annie.
great. It's not great to have Annie back.
Hey, Annie.
Old lady says, thank you, Father God, for another day. Forgive us for what we might have done wrong. Ooh, there's a lot of forgiveness, old lady. Shirma Paul, good morning. Nicola McNichols, Carla Hercules. Ingrid is asking about Carol. We haven't heard anything else since, Ingrid. Arlene Lewis, Gavin Frank from Powder Magazine. Hillary Benjamin, who's the other winner for 2 tickets yesterday. Susie B says good morning. Joyce Phillip, Keith Clark, Chris Toussaint, Bacchanal Chris Toussaint. Sankofa, Lennox Francois is out in Maryland. Rhea Sampson. Sankofa said, second time I'm waking up thinking it is Saturday. I am alive. Give thanks. I wonder why. He's also sending healing graces to Carol. Beauty Culture. Chris Toussaint said, did you all see the boat captain's reaction? I did. He cried, you know. He was, wow. It was a kind of sad thing. And he was, of course, expressing complaints that he may have made or about the boat, the condition of the boat. You know, it's sad that they've been charged for murder. Will that stick, Richard? Will a charge like that be appropriate?
I don't think it's murder.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it might be manslaughter, but it wouldn't be murder. Murder, you have to have an intent to kill and accomplish it. And a lot of the times, prosecutorial authorities just don't go by that basic thing. Sometimes, you know, they complicate things. And sometimes it's simplicity. Was there an intent? And was the act occurred? Did the act happen? And oftentimes in murder cases, it's really manslaughter because there was no intent.
Yeah.
But we go down that road. Now, that being said, I don't know what the actual laws are in Guyana and how they freeze what is murder and what is manslaughter. I'm just going on what I expect it to be.
Yeah.
But that seems strange.
Yeah, I found it strange.
Murder, I could see, unless they have murder categorized in different, murder in the 5th degree, which might be really what we would call manslaughter. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Pointing. Empress Reslal, it's still out meeting, discussing us like they did in the 30s. Well, boy. Wendell, I'm sorry for, who's that? Michael Oliver, I'm sorry for who? Oh, who is O? I don't know what you mean, Michael. Nice to see Sir Charles Pick. When will you come live, man? That's from Beauty Culture. Carlisle Cupid, blessings. Rhea Sampson. Oh, I'm crying here. I love this. Michael Robinson from Yokohama, Japan. Dogs are my everything.
Yes, stuff going on in Japan still because of that earthquake.
Yeah. Man, they sent me a voice note. It's bad, people. It's bad. Beauty Culture, the jobs choose and who resemble them. Yes, that's obvious in that video. And Marva Williams, good morning. Old lady is loving. Sankofa say, President, please dissolve. Carlisle Cupid, a German Shepherd, is your best friend after a pit bull. All dogs, eh? Anthony Tinto, Grand Rising to the breakfast crew and to all locked on. Morning, Tinto. Predator. Good morning, gentlemen and breakfast crew. This person obviously changed their name. I suspect I know who it is. Beauty Culture says, Hamster. Robert Harper, good morning. All morning, Robert, to you and your family. Rena Budu Jennings, no, you wouldn't cook and eat a chicken. That was once a pet. You feel so?
Nah.
Good morning, guys. That's from Ron DeSantis Jr. Okay. Cheryl Maraj, good morning. Elizabeth also saying good morning. Maria Cellier, Arlene Joseph, good morning, gentlemen, and Mrs. Robert Taylor. Arlene, is that? Red Fire, Merle McCormick, Michelle Phillip, Margarita Chow, and Trini Gets Fit. Those are all the greetings on the chat, gentlemen.
All right, so let's see who's on the WhatsApp this morning. Good morning to Mr. Billy on the people out there at Powder Magazine. Good day to you. CJ out there in New York. Mr. Beeps in PT Valley. Archbishop Ashton Clark in Canada. Zena and the Powder Puff ladies. Good day. Kent in Laventel. Fifi coming in from Ethiopia. Colin and Kelly out of Carenage. The thing start, Colin, nice. Captain Ron, who is in Orlando. Rena Budu Jennings, good day to you. Frank in Aruka. Miss St. Augustine, who was here very early as always. And I think that is it. Oh, and Sexy Reds is actually here this morning. So we welcome everybody to the chat.
Why people who read us always feel this sexy? Why does give themselves that sobriquet? Answer me that. All your red people on the chat this morning. Why all you feel all you sexy because all you
Why you hating on red people, sir?
Yeah, I'm just asking a question.
You're hating. There's an undertone of hate and jealousy and envy that is creeping across.
Yeah, what could be considered red, though?
Red is the heart. Anyhow, people, we're going for the break and we will be back shortly. Then we'll tell you what's going on in our newspapers.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Hey, audio, it's me. What is an extravaganza without Larry Joseph? I will be there Sunday, 2nd August, St. Francois Girls Convent, Belmont. We're doing this for Hillary. Sunday brunch extravaganza, and it's fun for the entire family. Me, Larry Joseph, coming to make all you laugh, laugh, laugh. Hey, don't miss it, okay?
Calling all you NETT Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us on NETT Radio Halloween Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August, boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcuts Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite NETT DJs: Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early bird tickets are just $200 after $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Kure, Bats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall, and Eastgate Small, and all NETT DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. NETT Radio, Halloween Cooler Crew, Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Color Week on the sea.
All right, we come straight back into the news, folks. Today's Express Online edition: off-duty cop killed in Caroni attack, Police Constable Rommel Kerry Douglas. And that's a weird story because someone else, one of the alleged bandits, was also killed. You know, it's a crazy story. Privy Council clears the air. That's one of the articles. Golden Wave Team TTO men's swimmer splash to history. Lara Sir Gary shaped my journey. Of course, we know that for sure. Yesterday was the funeral of Sir Garfield Sobers yesterday in Kensington Oval, Barbados. I actually looked at it, but in the most part, saw the tributes from his sons and, of course, the address from Prime Minister Mia Mottley. That lady is really a phenomenal lady, you know. She really is. But it was a beautiful send-off for Sir Gary yesterday. I think I saw Dr. Keith Rowley also attended that funeral. Some other stories trending. This funeral broke my heart. Former THA Chief Administrator dies. Public sex offenders website back online. Epileptic man discharged from hospital goes missing. And captain crew members charged with murder in Emvry Burima tragedy. Of course, someone offered an opinion that probably makes sense, that he may have deliberately overbooked the boat, put too many people and too many boats cars on the boat. So that may be why the charge of murder came up. I don't know.
That's negligence. Because there's no intent to kill. There is no intent to kill.
Right. Okay. It's still negligence, you mean?
Negligent.
Yeah.
So you might be very negligent that contributed to people's deaths. That's manslaughter.
Right.
Now, as I said before, I don't know if Guyana has manslaughter worded as a murder in the third degree or something like that. I don't know. I don't know their system.
All right, but he was remorseful. He was crying. It was not a nice thing to see him being led away in handcuffs and pleading. I mean, it can't be, because I agree. I don't know that anybody is going to deliberately cause that kind of accident on anything. I mean, outside of what we know happened on planes where people deliberately crash planes, but then everybody dead. So even the person who would have flown the plane died. You know what I mean? So there was no charge coming out of it. But it's just a sad story. Yeah. So that's the Express today, folks.
Well, let me go to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian one time. Cop killed in ambush, TTPS in manhunt for 2 suspects after a third killed in exchange of gunfire with officer. Jet ski operator charged in Pigeon Point tragedy denied bail. Sturge Gale's Operation Southern Spear despite U.S. drug flow concerns. And I think the Washington Post would have done an article where they queried that there was really no benefit for what they would have done in the under that Southern Spear. Police boost coastal patrols after recent maritime tragedies. Venezuelan ambassador reports decline in illegal migration. In the business news, Kama, and that's of course Kama Mirage, Minister of Trade, steel mill restart to create a US $1.5 billion industry. Minister of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Kama Mirage, said yesterday government has signed a memorandum of understanding to restart a long idle steel mill. A move he says will generate an estimated $1.5 billion annually while creating a market for every ton of scrap iron and discarded tires produced in Trinidad and Tobago. Put people before data center, says CEO of AI agency. Works Credit Union workers begin 90-day industrial action. Power Gen 4 triggers widespread blackout. Did you get a blackout in St. James yesterday?
Yesterday, not a blackout, but we had some dips in electricity.
Right.
Yes.
I got some dips here in Arima too.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of doing stuff on my computer. So I have some choice words to change it.
Well, one happened, if you remember, whilst I was on the show. Remember when I had to get up to reboot something? When you and Charles made bacchanal?
Oh no, we thought somebody unplugged it and there was an argument happening. That's what Charles said. So I was like, okay, Charles, know what's going on. So
No, but that's been happening regular now. I don't know.
What, somebody pulling out the board? Okay. Unexplained Wealth Act provisions proclaimed. Abood raises queries on privacy rights. And the Chase historic win over Pakistan in honor of Sugari. Black man 4x100 free relay men snare gold. Vipers, Unicorns clinch playoff spots with contrasting victories and 4th straight loss for Calypso netballers. And ICC penalized Abbas Shahzad for aggressive celebrations in opening test loss to Windies. Yeah. And that's it for the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian this morning, and well for the Trinidad and Tobago Express. So now you know what our 2 dailies are carrying as their main stories this morning.
Yeah, I was happy also to see some of the players who, of course, would have won within 4 days, because if the match had gone to a 5th, they would not have been able to attend. Actually went back to Barbados yesterday to attend the funeral of Sir Garfield Sobers. Quite a bit of the players, including Captain Roston Chase, who is from Barbados. So they attended the funeral, and of course they have to come back now to Trinidad for the 2nd test match that starts this weekend at the Queen's Park Oval. So that was a good thing also too, that they finished the test match within 4 days to be able to attend the funeral. You know, it was
people attending that test match.
People from South went. Some people went up from thing. You know, test cricket is not very well attended again, and you know that, right? That's been on the decline for quite a while in Trinidad and Tobago and around the Caribbean.
Well, because it's so slow paced, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but for traditionalists like me, I used to go and sit down and watch cricket. I didn't care who else in the stands, and there's me and 3 other people, and I would sit down there and watch. That's how I viewed cricket, especially Test cricket, because that's where you see the art of cricket, not that whoop fest that they have called T20, because that is pure entertainment. Pure entertainment.
What they call it, a whoop fest?
A whoop fest. West Indies just play 8 whoopers and 2 bowlers in a wicketkeeper in a T20 match. 8 whoopers.
Wow.
That's how Tony Fraser. King of them is a fella called Hetmeyer. Could whoop. Johnson Charles could whoop. Rutherford could vote. Calling all the poppers names. Real poppers we have. Oh, don't talk about Romario Shepherd and a fellow called, have one, he barely have a neck. Anyway. But an interesting story came out that will form the basis of our poll this morning. And so let me just give you the idea behind it so that you can be prepared, and then we'll get into Did You Know? It is the Minister of Health, Dr. Lakram Bodo, who you barely hear anything about, but you don't, once you know, you're nothing bad. He is pleading with nurses abroad to come back home. You understand? To come back home and give their services to Trinidad and Tobago. He said Trinidad and Tobago is facing a shortage of nurses, with many leaving for countries offering better salaries and benefits. Speaking yesterday to reporters after the handover at COSTAT, Bodo said the shortage mirrors a global trend, but the government is working to strengthen the local healthcare workforce. There is a shortage of nurses in Trinidad and Tobago, but this is also part of the worldwide problem of the shortage. Bodo said the program is one way of increasing the number of healthcare professionals entering the system. When we speak of nurses, we speak of registered nurses, but we also speak of nursing assistants. He noted that 200 nursing assistants are expected to begin training in September, with another intake of 200 scheduled for January. So at the Ministry of Health, we are very happy for that. We will continue to look at all means of recruiting nurses. So that's the challenge, to get nurses to come back or to remain here.
Well, the bigger challenge is not meeting the demands of the nursing's union. Because if you're not meeting their demands, then it means you're going to have dissatisfied nurses and you're going to constantly have that outflow. Because he's right, that other countries are going to attract with better benefits because they can afford it, and nurses will go to where the greener grass is, basically. Especially if you're young, you're relatively young, you move with your family and head out.
Yeah.
But you get the better benefits. People make judgments on that. And if you're out there already to come back, you will have to fix what they would consider the remuneration and benefits that are afforded to nurses and where they, And obviously there are problems, because there are problems that have been articulated for years by Eddie Stewart and and the other members of that nurses union.
Yeah, but that will form the basis of our poll this morning, folks. So if you haven't read up on the story, read up on it quickly so you can be more informed in terms of our voting a little later on. All right. So Charles, take it away.
Did you know?
This prison has no locked doors. There are no guards on duty. You can even walk around freely. Yet for years, almost no one has ever dared to try escaping. This is Fort Boyard, a fortress standing in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of France. Construction began in 1804 to defend the coastline from naval attacks. It was later converted into a prison. What made Fort Boyard so unusual wasn't its walls or iron bars. It was its location. It was surrounded by nothing but open ocean. There was no bridge to the mainland and nowhere to hide. Even the strongest swimmers would struggle to survive the long journey across the sea before exhaustion or the harsh Atlantic conditions caught up with them. Today, Fort Boyard is no longer a prison. Instead, it has become one of France's most iconic landmarks, attracting visitors from all over the world. The fortress has also appeared in numerous television shows, making it an even more fascinating destination. If you ever had the chance to visit Fort Boyard, would you dare step onto the fortress that was once considered one of the hardest places in the world to escape from?
Interesting. It's almost like it's not like our Career Island. It's different. Of course, it's just this building sitting in almost in the sea. That's how it looks.
Alcatraz is almost like that too, in the US.
Isn't it kind of like on an island?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alcatraz is an island.
Yeah.
All right.
But wait, what prisoners do in a place like that? They're just what? You're just holding them in that area. No work to do in that in those places.
You come out and chip piece of rock or something, or pull out pull out grass from somewhere. I don't know what else they do.
What are you talking about? Like in that French prison?
Mm-hmm.
That French prison doesn't operate anymore.
Yeah.
The Boyard, or if that's
No, I mean, like while it was operating, what do you do with prisoners like
they have a courtyard area. I think there's a courtyard area in the middle. That's where you would get, whatever kind of exercise you're getting. But
it might have a basketball ring, or it might have some weights.
It is more difficult, but yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, there are so many prison movies that you could take examples from. You understand? I guess some head guard would carry them somewhere to clean up property. I don't know what to do now. Yeah. I don't want to find out.
That prison doesn't operate anymore. It's a prison you could visit, I think.
Yeah, it's like a tourism site now.
Like a tourist site. And like how this government has plans for Carrera Island to turn it into a resort of some sort and move the prisoners according to their revitalization plan. So it means, I assume, they will keep some relic of the prison as part of an interesting thing as part of the resort, I assume.
Yeah.
A very mischievous thought entered my mind when you said this government and their plans for Carrera Island. I don't know why it came in, but
I feel like I
would immediately dismiss it from my mind.
I feel you're seeing the whole of the PNM inside of that.
I was seeing PDOs next after the next election. I was seeing PDOs.
The first person was going to get one with Marvin Gonzalez.
Oh no! You clearly misinterpret my thing. I know what you're trying to do, though, but
no,
you mean the first person who might issue one is Marvin?
well, that too. Well,
I'm talking about this government, and their plans for career. This government and their plans for career.
Yeah, well, it was part of the revitalization plan. Remember, they're supposed to build a huge prison complex. Where the prison complex supposed to go? Is it in Wallerfield? I know Wallerfield is supposed to be the main administrative police headquarters or something like that. Like, I'm trying to remember the plan, but all those prisons, like by where maximum security prison, all of that is supposed to move according to their revitalization plan. And all they are going to become housing.
You know what I remembered yesterday? Just so I sit down and remember yesterday. The issue of the two independent senators who reportedly approached a government senator about getting favors to vote for them in the parliament and the Zoso bill. And I also remembered the issue of the headline in the newspaper of the magistrate who was soon to be arrested for corruption. And I said, but what's going on here? And then I remember another article about a former government minister threatening allegedly hiring a gangster to murder a current government minister. Where the story's gone? They've just disappeared. Whatever, and then Balize House, the issue of Balize House and the accountability for it. Those stories have just been buried.
Well, certain stories.
I just sit down remembering this trauma that Trinidad and Tobago went through in the last few months, with all these stories, that have just disappeared, and nobody's addressing them.
Trinidad and Tobago has been going through trauma since 1999. Just one thing after the next.
1990, I mean.
Well, I don't know it goes so far, but yeah, but for a long.
Yes, 1990. A lot of people say our trauma started then. A lot of people say that in terms of the criminality and so on.
Yeah. I just been looking at for the time that when we started on talk radio and stuff. and all the issues over the years, there was never a dull moment. I mean, while we look at it now, we say, where this was good, and boy, all these things. But if you look back, there has never been a quiet time in Trinidad and Tobago where politics and stories and things that wake up one morning and we don't have anything to talk about.
No, but those stories came fast and furious. It's like almost every week. The latest ones that I spoke about, they were like one upon the next, you know.
Anyhow, let's see if we can take a couple calls as we go up to the top of the hour, and then we tell people what the poll in a short. So 281-1315 or 299-5156. Those are the numbers that you can call. You can get in on the show just before we get into the morning poll. Caller, good morning to you.
Good morning, gentlemen and gentle people.
Morning, Captain.
I don't know if you all realize there's an echo on your phone there, so everything is being repeated. First of all, so Wendell, that place in San Francisco, the prison you're talking about there, is just east of the Golden Gate Bridge. It has been decommissioned, and what they used to do there is agriculture, just like what they used to do in the one in France. There was a movie they made about it with Steve McQueen, Papi something, where they put him there, he and another guy. And the plan was for him to escape. He made a raft and got away from that rough sea. It's a good movie, but it's just very long. Also, Richard, what you're saying this morning about the captain there in Guyana, let me tell you, there was a Guyanese lawyer in New York on a radio station. He said the murder charge cannot stick, but it will come down to manslaughter. And the reasoning is that I would tell you this, from my experience, on ships, on airplanes, they have something called as a matter of fact, any commercial vehicle, ships and airplanes of that size, that's there is an MEL list. It's called a manual, MEL, a minimum equipment list. It tells you what you can go with and what you cannot go with. You know, it's a go or no go situation list. But the fact of manslaughter is because they were under the influence. So that's why they couldn't figure out how much people was on board. Decisioning and was impaired because of the influence of the drugs. So this is why the manslaughter is gonna stick. But as Richard really said, murder is intent to kill. There's no intent. They were just coming to do this. So, but Wendell, let's say this before I go. Don't be gullible. Just play back the tape here so they're going to see who it is who's saying it. you just play back.
Thanks. The movie is Papillon with Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman. Yeah. Thanks. I see Ron DeSantis also put it in the chat. Papillon is the movie. Yeah.
That's about years ago.
Yeah. I don't think I ever watched a movie. I don't think I saw that movie. But I'll go look for it now.
Papillon doesn't papillon mean butterfly?
Yes, it means butterfly, eh?
Yeah.
Peter Minshall played that as a band, not so?
Yeah, I think Peter played some that at some point in time.
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't remember man Wendell.
Yeah, no, I remember a lot of things, you know.
Yeah, surprised. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Gentlemen, when last year took a drive to the southern side of the country, especially going down Point 14 on that highway extension.
I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah, but you should take a drive, you know, because when the highway extension was open, it was such a breath of fresh air, a beautiful sight, like you feel driving in from foreign land. You know, I was down there last week. I drove down there sometime last week. After some time, I was so disappointed. The place is like a forest. All the side of the road, the median, all the galleries are covered with bush. Trees going along the median. It's so disgusting. I was so ashamed of how nasty this place has gotten. and not just down there, all over the country.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Yes, Paula. I could speak about the East-West corridor, and I could speak about St. James in particular, and I was commenting on it, and I'm saying, all right, there's no CPEP, right? This NPOPs thing is not as extensive as people think it is. It's a few people, and I don't even know where they concentrated. But I'm saying still, the corporations, can't they at least try and do some kind of cleaning of this? The bush is awful. The drains are terrible. The pavements, the curbs, wherever grass could grow, grass growing. Let's just put it this way. Wherever grass could grow, it's growing. Huh?
I think that's the mistake the government made. They saw, in my opinion, of course, I think they saw CPEP as PNM related, that they just went after it and they had no answer, or they thought they had an answer, and obviously they don't. So that explanation of the guy on the highway, and I mean, Trinidad and Tobago could drive across wherever you are in Trinidad and Tobago, you could see that there is more bush and less maintenance taking place, and it's the Ministry of Local Government to answer for that, and the government. If you make those decisions, and the country is now in a state of lack of maintenance on highways and stuff like that, as that guy would have just explained, and it's a result of the decisions that you made.
Yeah.
So you want to fix it?
Wherever grass could grow, it's growing right now. Wherever. Out of the corner of your wall and the pavement, it's growing there. The curb, it's growing there. In the drain, it's growing there. Anywhere grass could grow right now, it's growing, and it's looking awful.
Yeah, maintenance is.
I just said that. Because it is everywhere. Just before we go to the news, to Charles, Pennywise, I think they're opening their plaza, I think tomorrow, in Trinity, and they did some lovely landscaping on the front of the plaza that faces the highway, but it faces the highway. So I assume it's also to attract customers heading further east too. That you could just come off the highway and go into that plaza. But beyond where they landscaped, in the shoulder that abuts right in front of that Pennywise Plaza, there is bush, because so many places in Trinidad and Tobago are not being maintained anymore. You have bush that's actually, to a certain degree, masking what you have done in terms of the wonderful landscaping that you've done. And I was wondering why Pennywise didn't tell them, well, they're doing that, just cut in front by the highway there so people can see the beauty of the beauty of what we have done. But it's kind of difficult to view it because the bush is starting to get tall enough that it's a little difficult to see what landscaping they did. And I was saying they should just clean up that bush right in front there. Just clean up that, just the length of the plaza, just clean up that. Let's help them out, because nobody helping them out apparently. And I don't know. I hear your confidence in Khadija. I mean, well, we are yet to see the results, Wendell.
No, clearly that ministry is lapsing. Well, I don't know who's doing it in terms of the maintenance of the place, because the corporations have daily paid people to employ it, And I'm saying clearly their priority is not about how the place is looking. I don't know.
Obviously, corporations can't handle the magnitude of it.
They can't. And which was why CPEP, God bless Mr. Man and Soul, was implemented for the environment, for community environment. In other words, the idea was to create these entrepreneurs within this community, so that they will become clean in their own community. But that's not taking place because, of course, we know what happened with CPEP. But like no other plan, this NPOPs program that the ministry has put in place cannot cope with it. They cannot cope with the magnitude of the work that needs to be done.
You know what gets me with all of this is that the same government ministers that make up the UNC travel on highways and roads and stuff like that. And you must see, obviously, that it's not being maintained properly. That the country has a particular look now of a lot of bush and unsightly. And And that doesn't bother you. It's the same thing that I always talk about sometimes with PNM people when they win power to Wendell, that you're driving on a road and that doesn't bother you.
Yeah.
You know, that you are the ones put in charge and it doesn't bother you. It doesn't generate a thought somewhere in your brain.
Yeah. I maintain the people that Khadija, I mean, is my friend. You know, I support her. But yeah. I wouldn't hesitate. I wouldn't hesitate to critique her if something is going wrong. And this is going wrong. The condition of Trinidad and Tobago is going wrong.
Nice. So hold right there. Let's do the poll as we go to the news, Wendell.
Mm-hmm. So our poll, of course, is: do you believe the government's diaspora program, well, the Ministry of Health diaspora program, will persuade overseas nurses to return to Trinidad and Tobago? That's our vote. If you're voting yes, you vote 1. If you're voting no, you vote 2. Do you believe the Ministry of Health's diaspora program will persuade overseas nurses to return to Trinidad and Tobago, to return home? Just to shorten it, so Charge, you like shorting, and you're going with a long thing this morning.
Can't help it.
But do you believe it will persuade nurses overseas to return home? Yes or no? That's our poll. Give us lots of votes on it, all right? Take care.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, and Dial Caribbean TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has brushed aside calls from former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to end the state of emergency and dismiss Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander and Attorney General John Jeremy. Responding yesterday, Persad-Bissessar said Rowley was no longer Prime Minister and described him as a Facebook troll. She added that if he wanted to end the state of emergency or fire ministers, he can go ahead and do it, saying someone should explain that he no longer holds office. The Prime Minister also defended both Alexander and Jeremy, saying government figures show about 400 fewer murders than projected over the past 15 months. Earlier, Rowley accused the government of abusing the state of emergency, detaining citizens without sufficient evidence, and called for the dismissal of both ministers. The Civil Asset Recovery and Management and Unexplained Wealth Act is now partially in force, giving authorities new powers to freeze and recover property suspected to be linked to crime. The proclamation, issued by President Christine Carla-Kangaloo, activates key provisions allowing the Civil Asset Recovery and Management Agency to seek high court orders to freeze suspected criminal assets while forfeiture proceedings continue. The law also allows the recovery of property believed to be the proceeds or instruments of crime based on the civil standard of proof, the balance of probabilities, rather than the criminal standard of beyond a reasonable doubt. The legislation also establishes a Civil Asset Recovery and Management Fund to manage seized assets and requires annual audited reports to be presented to Parliament. A Tobago man has been remanded into custody after being charged with the manslaughter of 7-year-old Angelica Jogi, who died in a jet ski incident at Pigeon Point Beach in April. 33-year-old Ashworth Burnett of Canaan appeared before the Scarborough Magistrates Court on Wednesday, where he was denied bail. He is expected to return to court on October 20th for a status hearing. Police charged Burnett following advice from the Director of Public Prosecutions. Investigators allege his jet ski entered a bathing-only zone before striking Angelica and 3 of her relatives. The 7-year-old later died at the Scarborough General Hospital. Speaking earlier this week, Angelica's father, Arnold Jogi, said nothing could bring his daughter back. Works and Infrastructure Minister Jolene John says reports of a runaway truck aboard the MV Golden Carrier have been exaggerated, insisting no one was injured and the vessel's ramp was not at fault. John said a report from the Port Authority found that a truck rolled backwards after its parking brake was either not engaged or failed, but it stopped before hitting another vehicle. She said security footage confirmed the incident was not caused by the vessel's ramp. The Port Authority also rejected reports that a woman was nearly crushed, saying its investigation found no evidence anyone was struck, injured, or placed in imminent danger. It said the driver regained control of the truck before any damage occurred and criticized what it described as inaccurate reporting that fueled public concern over the vessel's safety. In the region, the captain and 2 senior crew members of the MV Barima have been charged with murder following the ferry disaster in Guyana that claimed dozens of lives. Captain Kevin Price, Chief Mate Rondell Dwayne Robert, and Goods Superintendent Dellen Granderson appeared before a Georgetown court on Wednesday, where they were remanded into custody. The case has been adjourned to August 3rd. The MV Barima capsized on July 18th while traveling from Georgetown to Port Kaituma. Authorities say at least 73 people have been confirmed dead, 77 were rescued, and around 30 people remain missing as search operations continue. Meanwhile, Guyana's President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali has appointed an independent commission of inquiry to investigate the tragedy and recommend measures to improve maritime safety. Finally, former U.S. health official Dr. Anthony Fauci has invoked the Fifth Amendment during a U.S. Senate hearing on the COVID-19 pandemic, refusing to answer questions from Republican lawmakers over concerns his testimony could be used against him in future legal proceedings. Fauci declined to answer more than 100 questions, saying he feared attempts to prosecute him for perjury. Republican Senator Rand Paul accused Fauci of misleading the public about the pandemic and announced plans to seek a contempt of Congress vote. During the hearing, President Donald Trump renewed claims that COVID-19 originated from a laboratory in China, while Fauci has consistently maintained that the available evidence most strongly supports a natural origin, although he has said he remained open to other possibilities. And that is NETT Radio News at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Morning vibes, fresh energy. This is the NETT Radio Breakfast Show.
Shaka, talk to me in a happy family. Tell me when you're hitting one, better you hit all and done. Now when I look at South Africa and the pain my race go through, lying smitten by the bogus massa. I burn, oh my God, I mourn, cause I know they hit me too. Shaka, shaka, tell them when they
Mornings just got better. You're locked into NETT Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Now I tell you, that is an unstoppable combination, right? The best music and real talk is heard Monday to Friday right here on NETT Radio and Gael Caribbean TV. Let me say good morning to the Gael family, yeah? The Breakfast Show, Wendell Stephen, Richard Raghubar Singh, and of course yours truly, Sir Charles. And of course we do all that we can to make sure we keep you well entertained. Definitely we keep you informed. We put a smile on your face. I mean, we do so many different things, right? And guess what? You do the same thing to us. So we thank you for being here, right? Of course, this is the second hour of the Breakfast Show. And of course, inside of this hour, coming up, we are supposed to be speaking with Joey Rivers a little later on inside of this hour. And of course, we have a benefit concert coming up for Hillary Benjamin. And of course, that's coming up this weekend. And we want you to go out and support it, right? So Joey will be joining us to tell us more about that. But before all of that, let me say good morning to all our early risers. And just to let you know, people, that when we come off of anytime you look on the TV feed and you can't find us, or you're looking for us on the social media platform, YouTube or Facebook, and you can't find us, well, that is because we don't have any talk program at that point in time, and you have to come across to netradiott.com. That's netradiott.com. And of course, you'll be able to listen to us all day because we stream all day, every day. Yeah, most of the morning period until lunchtime, we do a lot of talk, but then after that, we do a lot of music too. Straight into the weekend. And of course, this is a beautiful weekend as we're getting ready for emancipation. Hope all you have all your out of it. We'll be coming out and looking good on Saturday morning. Yeah. So people, also don't forget that you can listen to us on NETT Radio Trinidad, on TuneIn, or on Radio Garden, Online Radio Box, Simple Radio, MyTuner, all those streaming platforms. Almost any major streaming platform, you can just put in NETT Radio Trinidad, and of course you will find us. It is also our social media handles for the social medias as Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, and of course our WhatsApp channel. And you can join our WhatsApp channel, follow our WhatsApp channel, and that way you'll be able to get updates to everything that we're doing here on the station. So our morning poll is up. Yeah. And of course, through the Ministry of Health, the government has instituted a program where they're trying to woo our nurses back to Trinidad and Tobago. Right? So they have some incentive programs that they're putting in place. Will it work? Do you think that our nurses who are on the outside, that will make them come back to Trinidad and Tobago? We want to hear from you. So if you think yes, you're voting 1. If you're thinking no, you would say 2, right? It's as simple as that. And when we come back, we'll tell you how we voted. But also, don't forget, we have our Cooler Cruise coming up on the 15th of August. The Color Week Cooler Cruise is all in support of NETT Radio. And of course, we're inviting you to come and join us on the 15th on board the Island Royalty. And I want to say thanks to some of the folks already who have indicated that, hey, and a cruise and thing again, or living out of Trinidad and Tobago. But here what, we will support the cruise by buying a few tickets, and that is going to help us to stay on the platform, people. It's a real challenge, but we are doing it. We are doing it, and we want to continue to do it. So if you're not coming to the cruise, purchase a couple tickets, right? Yeah, as Richard said, tell the grandchildren, hey, you see this mountain? Don't come for no money. I support NETT Radio. That's my station. That is my station. I'm supporting that. Okay? And when we come back, we'll tell you how you voted. So stay with us this morning.
All aboard! Calling all you NETT Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your cruise. Join us on NETT Radio. NETT Radio. Color Week Cooler Cruise in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August, boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcuts, Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite NETT DJs, Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early
them who's
bird
a big
tickets are
dancer.
just $200. After $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Crep, Fats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall, and Eastgate Mall, and all NETT DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. NETT Radio, NETT Radio, Halloween, Cooler Cruise. Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Call we on the scene.
What do we all want for Trinidad and Tobago? Safer communities, greater opportunities, and a better future. Join Denise Deming every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on NETT Radio for Common Ground TNT. Each week, respected guests tackle the issues affecting our nation, from crime and education to healthcare, the economy, and good governance. Common Ground TNT, finding solutions through conversation. Tuesdays at 11 a.m. on NETT Radio, NETT Radio.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Flavor Entertainment Services, your one-stop premium entertainment service provider. We offer top-tier, best-in-class karaoke and DJ services for your private events, sports bars and lounge. Let us help make your birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries, and corporate special events memorable and special. Call us now at 462-2029. We provide more than just music. We create memories that last.
Hey, audio, it's me. What is an extravaganza without Larry Joseph? I will be there Sunday, 2nd August, St. Francois Girls Convent, Belmont. We're doing this for Hillary. Sunday brunch extravaganza, and it's fun for the entire family. Me, Larry Joseph, coming to make all you laugh, laugh, laugh. Hey, don't miss it, okay?
Okay, don't you miss it, people. Don't you miss it. Larry coming to make you laugh, laugh, laugh. You should put Richard on that show too. Richard gonna make you laugh, laugh, laugh. Anyhow, people, we are back inside of the second hour of the breakfast show. It's now 28 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. So I hope that you are in step with time. Meaning, if you were supposed to be somewhere at 7:30, I am hoping that you are there. Not like somebody that I knew in the past had to go to work for 8 o'clock, and he's not reaching until lunchtime. You see that kind of thing. Why
are you calling Corey so? Fucking Corey at Open Radio.
Oh Lord. Anyhow. My friend is not like that. Let me defend my friend. You see, I'm doing the friendly boss. He's not like that. My friend has been at work on time. You understand?
Yeah.
He's getting in trouble now and then, the attitude, but yeah.
Corey, would I have an attitude? I never knew that.
Become his employer and you'll find out.
Anybody he ain't cuss.
Especially when it's time to travel.
Boy, Corey, live your life, yes, boy.
Yeah, and of course, our second boss is GP. Good morning.
Yeah, she. We had a nice little chat yesterday, man. Her son was absolutely great and fantastic on that interview yesterday. Anderson, and he's out there in Antigua. He left yesterday itself, eh?
Yeah.
Right after the interview, actually, he headed to the airport and left to go to Antigua to join up with his teammates. So all the best, man, and Anderson Mahis.
Yeah, and I really, want to compliment, her, Caroline Gailey and all the work that she has done with her children and stuff, because, you know the sacrifices, it ain't easy to keep children on track. It's, especially when you have to be out looking for the dollar,
and boy children,
to be able to do that. Yeah, boy, she has done well. Besides the fact that, they wanted to go on the other side of that. Eh?
Yeah. No.
But by and large, you've done well. I'm very proud of you, I must say. Very, very proud of you.
Of course, lots of comments on our poll this morning. Our poll is centers around the nurses and their call by the government and the Ministry of Health for them to come back home and work. Do you believe the government's diaspora program will persuade overseas nurses to return to Trinidad and Tobago? And there are lots of comments on it. Of course, the place just don't have money, so I don't know how they could convince people who were already being poorly treated and poorly paid to come back in a place that the money done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, and just as you said, Wendell, have lots of comments. So people, we want you to get in on the show also at this point in time, because you have a guest coming in, and when he gets here, So give us a call at 281-1315 or 299-5156. All right, if you would like to share your comments. But yeah, it is. When people get out there and they see the opportunities and all the other things, working conditions and all, the way how things are being done, it's kind of hard to woo them back. They have to love Trinidad and Tobago.
I know personally several people who went abroad to do nursing, and they have done so well. They own property here now in Trinidad. Whilst living abroad, they built and own properties here in Trinidad that are expansive, that they could not have done if they had stayed here,
And that is the thing, because there are some things that you just cannot do. And, so while people are here, I think the people who are here, we really have to do all that we can. But sometimes I wonder, there are just certain things I know we just cannot keep up with, salaries and conditions and all those things that others will be able to get, and the kind of opportunity. Or Trinidad and Tobago, in a lot of cases, some of those things are not non-existent. Non-existent. I know people who have been in the arts and all different kinds of things, Wendell, and you see them outside there. I have a friend, and he's what he does, boy, he's like a producer, backstage producer for big concerts, something outside there, and if he wasn't able through his parents to make that sacrifice to get out there, he would never have been able to live his dream here in Trinidad and Tobago. So it's really something else. Caller, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Central Bio, Florida. Hey, that clarinet call to come home, and I understand the patriotism and all of that, and that's fine. But here's the reality. Those who live on Realville is asking. You can't even guarantee the 10% that you guarantee the public servants in them. And you asking these people, the nurses based abroad, compared to what they're being appreciated with, as far as compensation and so on, to come back, then it'll be unfair if you giving them, better paid and those who here at home. So that is a real quagmire, wouldn't you say so?
It is.
That they put themselves in?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. You know, kind of reminds me of well, I ain't promoting anybody, you know, of somebody who on a podcast platform, he's more UNC than any UNC in Trinidad, right? And yet, when the clarinet call was made by the finance minister, come home and make a contribution, you know, I throw to him, so why you don't go home since you so, you know, more UNC than anybody else? You're just a waggoners, you know? So, yeah, but anyway, yeah, so that's what the question that I ask. I mean, what it is you're going to do to incite, you know, to give these people incentive to come home and make a valid contribution, you know? So anyway, all right, guys, you'll have a good day here. Take care.
Yeah. All right. You know, there's a running story, just to digress just a bit, in today's newspaper, saying that the TTPS will need to complete an assessment to determine what resources should be placed outside Star Sabga's Westmoreland's home. But guess where Star Sabga lives? She lives in Regent's Tower, Westmoreland's, which is filled with many other people, Sir Charles. It's an apartment complex.
Man, well, it's around the place, man. What wrong with it's around the towers out there.
Listen to what Ori Russell had to say. He said police intended to first assess the location before deploying officers to ensure the order was carried out without disrupting other residents. We will conduct an assessment of the living facilities and then deploy resources while at the same time not affecting other persons residing within the facility. Yes, how?
The logistics of it, all right, okay. Well, they'll have to probably protect or guard or whatever is the case from inside the apartment.
You gotta go and live in the woman's apartment.
Yeah.
How else you go monitor?
Yeah.
She in an apartment and they have other neighbors and so on. My God.
But two police outside the door in the corridor, and they'll take turns sleeping on the chair.
Trinidad and Tobago is too funny.
Put a mobile unit downstairs, and just in case she decides to climb through the window, I wonder which one she's on. Oh, all right, okay.
She can dress up as a young boy and walk out of that place and they wouldn't know.
Oh, my word.
Oh, Lord.
Trinidad is nice. Anyhow, let me give you the results of the poll. Right.
Yeah. Yes. 400%. 100% said no. You do not believe the program will persuade nurses overseas to return home. 100% of you said no. And we have quite a few people who are doing nursing, including Miss Ingrid from Tucson, who left Trinidad and went and made it abroad. I don't think she ever coming back here to do nursing.
Yeah. I don't see it happening. I don't, you know, it's almost like sometimes, you know, we just say the police officers, we need to pay them more so that they don't have to get corrupted and that kind of thing. But how much money you could pay a police officer when he could make $30,000 in a day or two? You know, that's
you know, many police officers, Sir Charles, take leave, like they have 2 years, and they go and they work abroad during that time, you know, for real money.
You understand? So, yeah, it's really only you could only look for people who really have a heart, who really love this place and decide, look, this is my homeland, I'm not leaving. But it hard to keep people on and to keep them here one. And I think it's even more difficult when people start to make their lives outside there. They have family outside there now, and they're coming back home.
Yeah, and our nurses, let's face it, in large measure, are some top of the line, in terms of the training and in terms of their dedication, because it's not easy to be a nurse here in Trinidad. You know, you have to have a certain kind of belly to be a nurse here in Trinidad. You know, my eldest brother was a male nurse, one of the first in the country at the time, because male nurses were very rare. He was almost like a doctor. As a matter of fact, that was his nickname, doctor. They used to call it. You understand? I couldn't do what he did. You know.
Yeah.
He had a real belly, you know.
It's a hard word. It's a hard call. But let's get into our Let's Talk segment, Wendell.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
Why does man face that familiar so?
Hey, because it's early in the morning. I hear my name start calling. She say, come Joey, do some construction on that radio station. Yeah.
Next point for me, yes. Morning, Joey Rivers.
Morning.
I don't. And you contested the Tuco elections recently too?
No, I contested the Tuco elections successfully.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a difference. All right, okay.
Sure, look that have a deep meaning in what he just said. That word successfully that he had in.
Yes.
And I'll tell you as well. I had some very, very, very worthy opponents.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Carver Thompson, who is actually a member of the South Central Zone Executive.
Mm-hmm.
One of your media colleagues, Andre Williams, he was in it for years, you know, and even the daughter and daughter-in-law of two legends, which is Spicy, because Spicy is, of course, Shadow's daughter-in-law, and I also played for her father, which is Breed, for years when he was alive in the South End.
Okay.
You know.
So well, congratulations first on your victory at the polls recently. What position is it do you now hold?
Right, so I am now Tuco's Education and Research Officer.
Okay, beautiful. Congratulations.
And this is actually my first public media sitting in that portfolio.
So look at that. Well, you had to keep the recording for this show and of course use it as a tutorial in the future.
Yeah, but yes. As the research and education officer, what are some of the things that you are responsible for, or you expect to put in place?
Right.
So now we interview you across the board, Wendell.
Yeah. Well, based on the Constitution, you know, as it says explicitly, research and education is exactly that. Understanding that TUCO is a membership organization. And that's something that, you know, the general public sometimes have to be reminded about. So educating the general public on what TUCO is and sometimes isn't, what the remit is and what the focus is. As an organization, there are some responsibilities that will be considered unionized. However, it's a little softer, and hence the word organization and not union or even association, as the case may be. But research archiving, looking for opportunities, particularly for young and upcoming Calypsonians, and even understanding in our context that the word calypso really represents all the iterations of calypso. And like my old boss said, soca is calypso and calypso is soca. Rapso, soca parang, chutney soca, Trinidad and zest as well, you know, so it's all inclusive, and sometimes the word Calypsonian would sometimes denote a particular lane or style or iteration of the genre, but think of it as flavors of ice cream. Right. It's all Calypso.
Right, beautiful. Anyway, well, I mean, you have your own band, not so, Joey?
Yes. And you see, I'm in White Dashiki this morning. Last night, we actually, under the name Found the Nation, that's the Rapso iteration of my band. We were responsible for the second year running for the Rapso night at the Emancipation Village last night.
Oh.
Which was a tribute to Overdread. And Overdread actually performed with us last year. We had Lion Osuna, who is Sugar Aloza's brother, which most people don't know. They know Lion playing drums all over. you know, all on Frederick Street in front of the stores, accompanying so many Calypsonians over the years. But he's actually Sugar Aloza's brother. You know, all as part of the education and research portfolio to align, you know, persons, you know, and who they related to, who they connected to, and so on. So last time, we were there. I was the Magic, well, I was the Merrick Jr., Omari, Sister Sonia, Nefta, Kojo. I mean, it was
wow.
Amazing. And my drummer is my former student from Holy Cross College, Christian Ford. Well, I would say Lane Ford. He's actually Lancelot Lane's grandson.
Oh.
And his mother is the music teacher at Elder Blue. You know, so it's a real intergenerational situation happening. Sister Ava's son Isaiah played double tenor pan during her performance. You know, so we well taken care of, and right now the focus, because we are in the emancipation season. So the iteration of Calypso that is most applicable in this time would be the Rhapsody.
Right. Okay. Beautiful. But tell us a bit about Hilary Benjamin's upcoming show on this weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
And how you got involved in it?
Excellent. So we start from the present and then we rewind a little bit because it's an emancipation story actually. So on Sunday, 2nd of August 2026, the running time of the event is 11 a.m. and we go up to 5 p.m. It's a brunch. It's a comedy extravaganza brunch fundraiser for medical support for Hilary Benjamin, who has been the personification of emancipation support.
Okay.
And that's why it's being done the day after emancipation as well. So the customs staff and friends have one of the maybe longest standing occupational customs, occupational emancipation groups. Right? Because I'm telling you, no other occupational group understands the transatlantic slave trade more than a customs officer. They understand that the enslaved Africans were reduced to even beneath animals. We were treated as cargo. And that's a perspective I only understood when I started to work with that committee. When Roland Gordon was their musical director, Curtis Gross is the creative director of that entity. This is the Customs Staff Emancipation Group. And they put on a big program every year. Fashion, theater, food, etc. When Roland Gordon passed away, I was asked to replace him as their musical director. I have several friends I grew up with, went to school with, who are now customs officers and who are also cultural practitioners from folk theater, Best Village, and stuff like that. Hilary Benjamin, I met her in that circle as one of the most outgoing, supportive, resourceful, diligent, committed members of that group, who unfortunately would have suffered a severe stroke. So, and I'm listening to the program for the morning, and really all of us, which it might be most or all of us, who would have experienced someone who was that outgoing, that level of being a contributor, who now because of illness, through no choice of their own, now cannot function. You can imagine the frustration.
Yes.
In addition to the need that there is, because now, I mean, we talk about nurses, but what most nurses do, and I hope I'm not getting anybody in trouble, their PGs to compensate with their PGs when they do home care and so on. It's quite costly. Now, don't get me wrong, it might not be unreasonable in terms of the cost because it's all day.
Right.
it's a very focused job that they have to do. However, for someone to find $300 and $400 and $500 every single day, when you have no income coming in or very little through some percentage of a salary you used to work for, and you still have to live and all these things, it's very, very costly. So, someone that will be known to you all as well, Alan the Entertainer, we have joined forces because his organization is Million Laughs. And Million Laughs are really focused on doing family comedy. Comedic pieces that the entire family could consume at the same time. Children, grandparents, adults, everybody, right? Because of course Alan comes from a Christian background, actually works on a Christian media house and so on. My company, Calypso Art Specialists Trinidad and Tobago, CAST, we have partnered to form an entity called Comedy for a Cause. So Comedy for a Cause is an entity that collaborates with persons who are seeking to do fundraisers for these kinds of causes, these kinds of noble causes. We bring the show, the infrastructure, the marketing and promotion. We even print the tickets, the physical tickets. All the collaborator has to do is sell those tickets.
Right.
Nothing else. We take care of everything else. And that's what's happening here. We have a similar project at the Arima Community Center called Friday Night Kicks. So that's a kicks and karaoke on a Friday night. So that's a lighter event at the Arima Community Center on Friday, tomorrow night actually. And then come Sunday, we are at St. Francois Girls College, which coincidentally is a school I'm very, very close to as well. They're involved in the school parang competition. They won one of the junior panorama competitions this year as well. You know, the principal and admin staff is very, very supportive. Of course, they do very well academically. One of our star graduates who recently got an opportunity with Usher's unit, Asian King Fraser, recently graduated from there, and that's Johnny King's granddaughter. So,
Right.
so there's a lot of interconnection with what's happening. She went to St. Francois Girls College as well. So, I mean, the compound there, for those of you who have been, perched on the hill, the way their hall is open, yet covered and secure. It's a really, really nice ambience for this comedic brunch extravaganza.
Right.
You know, and so that's what we're doing. You know, we having a time, good family, comedic entertainment, and not just stand-up comedy. We have comedy through humorous calypso and various other performance disciplines.
Right.
And that's one of the things for Comedy for a Cause. I myself am part of the minstrel band. So many people may not have realized that I've been doing minstrels successfully for the last 3 years. I actually won the individual in St. James 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I might have seen you and didn't recognize you then.
I'm telling you, when Jama Jordan had to introduce me, chicken, Joey. I'll give you one little tease. Hey lady, you lady, don't just drive away, 'cause I have this need to tell you why I walked down here today. The spare parts man take all my money. I can't even put gas in my car. I want to know who is to blame. Is it Ministry of Works or WASA? Because I drove to Pinal and Barataria, San Fernando and Debe. I drove in a panel van in a small car, and it nearly mashed me away. I've been all over this country, all over the highway, and I drive on almost every street. But I drop in them pothole So now I'm walking on my feet.
But you ain't easy.
So the minstrels do a lot of parodies of classic songs addressing current issues. You know, so myself and retired customs officer Andre Walker, we have a minstrels band. You know, and so we are the minstrels, the Calypso minstrels, and we're going to be part of the comedic fun as well. And like myself, Andre is known to be a very, very serious man. And I know from the late Sprung Along, Tommy Joseph, and others, most of our, even Errol Fabian, most of our comedians, you would find are the most serious artists. They only make you laugh on stage. They're very, very serious.
Trust me, it's a very serious thing. Well, Joey, while we have you here, the people that give us a call, 281-1315 or 299-5156, and we'll give away 2 tickets for the show one time. Seeing that we have Joey here, Joey will help us give away the ticket somehow, somewhere.
So the lineup, I will call the lineup now.
Right.
And so like a good teacher, because I'm an educator at heart. So, so the student needs to be treated fairly. So I'm letting you know your exam is going to be based on what I'm about to teach you. So I'm going to call the list of performers for the comedic extravaganza, the brunch extravaganza fundraiser for Hilary Benjamin, which is at St. Francois Girls College this Sunday, 2nd of August, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Take notes. You're getting your content now.
Yes.
We have Marsefi, Handsome Sonson, the Minstrels, Larry Joseph and Dolores, Black Sage, again bringing the comedic extempo, and so on. Alan the Entertainer, of course, from the Billion Laughs crew. And we are going to have some surprise guest performers, as well as an artisan market and additional light refreshments on sale. Of course, at $175 is the standard rate. However, right now, we feel so special that and really support with the effort we're getting from NETT Radio, that today you can actually get 3 tickets for the price of 2.
Right.
So that's a special offer as well to reciprocate the support as well. So we have Marsefi, Handsome Sonson, the Minstrels, the Calypso Minstrels, that is, Larry Joseph and Dolores, Black Sage, Alan the Entertainer.
Right.
Market.
We have a real good lineup. So people, I want you to call us now, because we don't have too much time again. 281-1315 or 299-5156. So if you want to go and support the show on Sunday, right, you can win yourself 2 tickets right now.
Right now.
Right?
Yeah, man. Of course, this is happening on Sunday, August 2nd at St. Francois Girls College from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's a brunch in support of Hilary Benjamin, whom I've never met. She just reached out to me. She's a fan of this show. And here we are today. And so we are happy to be part of it, the support for Hilary Benjamin. And hopefully she will get the assistance that she needs. I know it's a little tough time in the country as a whole for people, but it's a worthy cause. People buy a ticket, even if you can't make the show, can't make the brunch, buy a ticket in support of Hilary Benjamin this weekend. All right.
So you have the listeners of where the tickets are available.
Right. So tickets are available from committee members, and I would give those numbers. When you have it there as well?
Yes, the telephone numbers for this. Let me go back to it. I have to scroll through the entire chat to find the thing. But Hilary, I know, is listed there. We also have
The wrong number.
Yep. So Charles?
Yeah.
Did you say something?
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, let me just find the promo on my phone. I have so many things on this phone now. But there are phone numbers that you can, of course, you can get at Rumbox in St. James. We have tickets available there at Rumbox in St. James. If you want to just come down there and purchase some tickets, that's not a problem. We already had Junior Wickham, I think, yesterday winning 2 tickets to the show. Hey, but why am I not finding it?
Okay, so just so I know, Wendell has a much more pleasant morning radio voice than mine. So I was
you ain't bad at no thing. You ain't bad yourself. Let me.
Here it is. Trinidad and Tobago, I would have you know, I will give you the information in extempo. Yes, it is really great. 798-3448. Do not hesitate. You could also call
763-7608. I'm going to help you with the numbers.
And listen to me. You could also call
769-5163.
The last number, hear what happened. It is
708-1107.
And in case it wasn't clear, that was my number that you just hear. This is a tease. So please come out to support Hillary without a doubt. Be sure to see you there on Sunday. Please come out and share.
Joey, we can keep Joey here all day. But let's see if we can take this caller. Caller, good morning. Right. Caller, you there?
I'm here. I'm right here.
Nice. Okay. So you're calling for the ticket giveaway.
Yes, I am.
All right. Joey, ask this gentleman a question there first.
Good morning, sir. So,
good morning, Mr. Joey.
Hi. So your question is, name any 3 performers.
No, too hard, man. 3. You asking man for 3.
Because
I got 3, man. I can pay more than 3.
I don't say that when we had. Look, all right, go ahead. You man say you can have the 3. Go ahead.
Handsome.
Right.
Minstrels.
Right.
Led by your good self.
Right.
Larry Joseph. And Larry Joseph.
Yeah, I think
Larry Joseph don't come alone, eh? Larry Joseph ain't coming alone, eh? Is Larry Joseph on who?
Yeah. But all right, that good enough.
Larry don't go nowhere without Dolores. So it's Larry and Dolores.
Yeah. But
I hear Dolores mention that.
Yeah, he did mention Dolores. All right, so Cassie Singo is the recipient of the ticket, and you could go down to Rumbox and collect the 2 tickets, Cassie.
Okay, well done. That's for Sunday. Eh?
Yeah, that's for Sunday.
Yeah, that's for Sunday.
11 to 5 St. Francois again.
Yes. Don't come Sunday, no. You have to come before.
Yeah. You have to.
Right? Yes.
Okay.
Right, great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Long stretch, boy. 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah, well.
So to mention to you, it's so the event, that's the event running time. We have the artisan market. We're going to be encouraging a lot of networking. And I want to take the liberty of using the net in NETT Radio to also mean networking. So we're real big on that, and we're doing that here right now,
Yes.
So there's going to be a lot of mix and mingle and networking opportunities. Meet and greet the performers as well. Something that hardly ever happens at events. So you can, come and take pictures, get information. Even persons who might be curious about how do you get involved in comedy. They want to know how did that interest spark? How was it honed? What was your first gig? What was the development like? Because we know like Calypsonians may have started in junior Calypso and worked their way up. But where does that comedian really start? And how do you develop? And how do you get gigs? How do you charge? And many of them go on tour. They spend a lot of time out of the country. And how does your concept?
We're gonna bring you back to talk a lot of other things on the platform, because you have plenty of things that you could share with the listeners, right? But we out of time for this particular segment. We're running actually behind time right now, so we want to thank you very much for passing through, giving us the information, and in a nutshell, just kind of wrap it. So what's happening on Sunday for us now? Good.
So Sunday, 2nd of August. Event, doors open at 11 a.m. Of course, show time will be a little later, but we encourage the persons to come out early. It's a brunch, mix and mingle, check out the artisan market. It's a fundraiser for Hillary Benjamin's medical expenses and care. Lots to laugh, enjoy for the entire family. So right after church, come across. Catch your snack, catch your laughs. All right.
All right, thank you, Joey. Thank you so much for joining us.
And thanks for having me.
Yes, take care. All right, we go for the 8 o'clock news now, and then when we come back, we'll wrap it up and take some calls, yeah?
Yeah, we're going to do that. All right. Actually, no, when we come back, we're supposed to be talking about Dirk Barnes on the other side of 8 o'clock.
All right.
Okay.
The news you need. The clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, and Dial Caribbean TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has brushed aside calls from former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to end the state of emergency and dismiss Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander and Attorney General John Jeremy. Responding yesterday, Persad-Bissessar said Rowley was no longer Prime Minister and described him as a Facebook troll. She added that if he wanted to end the state of emergency or fire ministers, he can go ahead and do it, saying someone should explain that he no longer holds office. The Prime Minister also defended both Alexander and Jeremy, saying government figures show about 400 fewer murders than projected over the past 15 months. Earlier, Rowley accused the government of abusing the state of emergency, detaining citizens without sufficient evidence, and called for the dismissal of both ministers. The Civil Asset Recovery and Management and Unexplained Wealth Act is now partially in force, giving authorities new powers to freeze and recover property suspected to be linked to crime. The proclamation, issued by President Christine Carla-Kangaloo, activates key provisions allowing the Civil Asset Recovery and Management Agency to seek high court orders to freeze suspected criminal assets while forfeiture proceedings continue. The law also allows the recovery of property believed to be the proceeds or instruments of crime based on the civil standard of proof, the balance of probabilities, rather than the criminal standard of beyond a reasonable doubt. The legislation also establishes a Civil Asset Recovery and Management Fund to manage seized assets and requires annual audited reports to be presented to Parliament. A Tobago man has been remanded into custody after being charged with the manslaughter of 7-year-old Angelica Jogi, who died in a jet ski incident at Pigeon Point Beach in April. 33-year-old Ashworth Burnett of Canaan appeared before the Scarborough Magistrates Court on Wednesday, where he was denied bail. He is expected to return to court on October 20th for a status hearing. Police charged Burnett following advice from the Director of Public Prosecutions. Investigators allege his jet ski entered a bathing-only zone before striking Angelica and 3 of her relatives. The 7-year-old later died at the Scarborough General Hospital. Speaking earlier this week, Angelica's father, Arnold Jogi, said nothing could bring his daughter back. Works and Infrastructure Minister Jolene John says reports of a runaway truck aboard the MV Golden Carrier have been exaggerated, insisting no one was injured and the vessel's ramp was not at fault. John said a report from the Port Authority found that a truck rolled backwards after its parking brake was either not engaged or failed, but it stopped before hitting another vehicle. She said security footage confirmed the incident was not caused by the vessel's ramp. The Port Authority also rejected reports that a woman was nearly crushed, saying its investigation found no evidence anyone was struck, injured, or placed in imminent danger. It said the driver regained control of the truck before any damage occurred, and criticized what it described as inaccurate reporting that fueled public concern over the vessel's safety. In the region, the captain and 2 senior crew members of the MV Barima have been charged with murder following the ferry disaster in Guyana that claimed dozens of lives. Captain Kevin Price, Chief Mate Rondell Dwayne Robert, and Goods Superintendent Dylan Granderson appeared before a Georgetown court on Wednesday, where they were remanded into custody. The case has been adjourned to August 3rd. The MV Barima capsized on July 18th while traveling from Georgetown to Port Kaituma. Authorities say at least 73 people have been confirmed dead, 77 were rescued, and around 30 people remain missing as search operations continue. Meanwhile, Guyana's president, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, has appointed an independent commission of inquiry to investigate the tragedy and recommend measures to improve maritime safety. Finally, former U.S. health official Dr. Anthony Fauci has invoked the Fifth Amendment during a U.S. Senate hearing on the COVID-19 pandemic, refusing to answer questions from Republican lawmakers over concerns his testimony could be used against him in future legal proceedings. Fauci declined to answer more than 100 questions, saying he feared attempts to prosecute him for perjury. Republican Senator Rand Paul accused Fauci of misleading the public about the pandemic and announced plans to seek a contempt of Congress vote. During the hearing, President Donald Trump renewed claims that COVID-19 originated from a laboratory in China, while Fauci has consistently maintained that the available evidence most strongly supports a natural origin, although he has said he remained open to other possibilities. And that is NETT Radio News at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
You are listening to the Emancipation Story right here on New Era TT Radio. The morning after what freedom meant. I want you to take a moment and try to imagine this scenario. Try to imagine what August the 1st, 1838 looked like in the eyes of our ancestors. The sun rises on that day. All across the Caribbean, the bells ring. The churches fill. The plantations fall quiet. Because for the very first time in hundreds of years, the enslaved are no longer slaves. They are now in law free people. But what did that freedom look like? For many of them, it was a moment of spiritual release. Tears were shed, prayers were lifted, ancestors were honored. But for others, the truth was a bitter reality. There was no land. There was no compensation, no apology. And many were forced to stay and work on the very slave plantations that had been very cruel to them. Often under the same overseers for low wages and a lot of the very same harsh treatment. Still, our ancestors did something extraordinary. They left. They formed free villages in the hills and the valleys. They built homes. They built churches, schools, and also cooperative farms. They began to write a new chapter, one that they authored for themselves. Freedom was not perfect, far from it, but it was powerful. It meant the ability to name your child, to earn a wage, to walk without chains. So what does that mean for all of us today? It is a reminder that freedom is not only about being unchained. It's about what you do after the chains are gone. Our ancestors, they stepped into uncertain territory, but they kept walking. So what are we doing with our freedom? Are we using it to build like they did? To educate ourselves and each other? To heal, to unite, to rise? Freedom is not a finish line. Freedom is a foundation. So let's honor their journey by building something worthy of their sacrifice. This is the Emancipation Story on New Era TT Radio, taking you above and beyond.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Hey, audio, it's me. What is an extravaganza without Larry Joseph? I will be there Sunday, 2nd August, St. Francois Girls Convent, Belmont. We're doing this for Hillary. Sunday brunch extravaganza, and it's fun for the entire family. Me, Larry Joseph, coming to make all you laugh, laugh, laugh. Hey, don't miss it, okay?
Calling all you NETT Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us on NETT Radio. Halloween Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August. Boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcuts, Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite NETT DJs: Sir Chaz, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
tell you, you's a big dancer. Come show
Early
them you's a
bird
big
tickets are
dancer.
just $200 after $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Crep, Bats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall and Eastgate Small, and all net DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your cooler, bring your cruise, and let's celebrate together. Net Radio, Halloween, Hula Cruise, Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Halloween, on the scene.
All right, everybody. So we are back. This is the final hour of the breakfast show, and it's now 20 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. So we are waiting on our guests to come in. We are going to be talking with the bands. Of course, it's gone in 60 seconds. It must be gone in 30 seconds. Talking about protection for your vehicles. So that's coming up in a little bit. So let me utilize a little time to let you know that our Cooler Cruise is on. Make sure you get your tickets. Get your tickets right now at Rumbox in St. James, Crosby's in St. James, Fats International in Arima, Bobby's Bar in Kirab, and don't forget the folks out there at K Squared Fashions. They have 3 locations that we're using: Eastgate, West Mall, and C3 Center in San Fernando. So make sure you pick up your tickets for the cruise. It's going to be a fun, fantastic cruise. And if you cannot attend the cruise, we are getting some support from you guys. We want you all to purchase a ticket or 2 or 5 or 6 or 10. Rumbox still have some tickets, so they go and get the tickets. Right, Wendell?
Yes, sure.
Right. So make sure they get all the tickets. We want you all on board for the Cooler Cruise. So it's going to be a
So Charles, WhatsApp the names of the 2 folks with the tickets for this Sunday for me, please. I think one was Katie Tengo.
Yeah.
And the other is Junior Wickham.
Yeah.
Right. So because they will have to pass for their tickets.
No.
Right? Just WhatsApp. Yeah, I guess we have 2 more tomorrow, so that'll take care of these tickets. The giveaway.
No problem. So we have hi Richard.
Hello, good day. How are you all?
All right, and we have Dirk Baz joining us in between here. Dirk, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm good.
Morning, Dirk.
Dirk, is it still 60 seconds or cars are disappearing in less time now?
Well, no, I'm starting to wonder because let's look at a couple of nights ago. We saw 4 vehicles taken from the same street, according to a report I saw on different social media sites. 2 were recovered. I don't know about the other 2 of yet. So, I mean, if you look at it from that point of view, it might be shorter than 60 seconds because these guys are becoming even more bold. Instead of taking
where did that happen?
Somewhere in Laventille, I understand. Same street, 4 vehicles parked up on the road, 4 of them going at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So we really have a Nicolas Cage kind of movie thing going on in this country, to be honest.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. It's crazy though that people are not learning lessons in terms of protecting probably their most expensive investment.
Yeah, I am very much surprised at how people look at their vehicles in terms of the investment and what security you need to put in it. For your home, people put in burglar-proofing, you put up gate, lock, sliding gate, you spend, thousands of dollars on your home. But when it comes to your vehicle, it is whatever is the cheapest solution outside there. But then you expect the best protection with the cheapest solutions.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine, right? And he, just as you said, everything in the house, burglar-proofing, he have the cameras in the carport and all that sort of thing. And they stole the car, and he didn't see when they stole the car. But after the car drove off and out of the sight of the cameras that he had home, he had nothing to track the car.
That is, I mean, right now, you'll see more and more of that happening.
And these people are so trained because like the person who stole the vehicle came with their heads and everything bound up with it, so they know that whatever camera that he have, what it may have been able to see and pick up. So they made sure that when they came, they were well covered.
Yeah, well, I mean, let me tell you something. I remember some years ago when you remember this movie CSI Miami and CSI Las Vegas and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I binge watch those things still.
when that came out, what car teams were under the impression that DNA was something that was DNA testing was something that big across the years. And what fellas them used to do? If they steal a car and you immobilize that car, right? You pull up on that vehicle that was immobilized, you're gonna meet that car on fire. You know? They were convinced, right? The best way to get away was to torch a vehicle if it is that you weren't able to actually successfully steal it. Now these guys will come with their face band up. You'll see them in gloves, even boots. I think I saw a video a time. I did see a video a time. A guy came to steal a car. He was wearing one of those full hazmat, those white suits, like what you see the local CSI guys wearing. Yeah, he was moving around with one of that to steal a vehicle because he making sure that it wouldn't have no kind of fingerprint or hair inside of the vehicle.
Wow.
So car thieves evolve, and people believe that these car thieves are these young fellas who have no school sense and don't know anything and didn't learn anything. But no, these guys are very resourceful individuals who have studied their trade and execute their trade with a degree of efficiency.
Yeah, I think that's it. People are actually, because I remember even in olden days, I remember I saw a movie at a time with a guy who was a pickpocket, and he had pants hung up and all kind of thing and was practicing and things. So I expect with any trade, you want to perfect it.
Yeah, no, they're good. I mean, when I started off in this, some people don't know this, or many people don't know this because I've spoken about it already. I started off in stolen vehicle recovery long before I started this company. I went back to probably mid-2000s. And how I got inside this really and truly was my wife, back then she was my girlfriend, her father's vehicle was stolen, and I was outside there searching all about the place, looking for that vehicle. I was working with police handling at the point in time because I was in the defense force. So we were searching, going into all the little holes, working on different intelligence. We never got back the car. And after that, I decided, you know what, this will never happen to them again. So then I started to bring down what was tracking systems. We'll call it GPS yet because GPS didn't come out as yet. It was tracking systems. And since that time to now, every time my in-laws bought a vehicle, first thing that happened, as they collected, I put in a tracking system inside of it, no GPS. So my experience with GPS tracking and tracking systems started long before I started air support tactical. And in 2011 is when we really got into putting out GPS tracking on a commercial sense. And we have been doing that for the past 15 years. So the experience that we have spans even longer than the existence. I'll say probably 20 years now, I've been involved in some degree of tracking system and tracking solution. And, so I have seen the evolution of, just as we in the industry, stolen vehicle recovery industry, just as we evolve, we innovate, and we come out with new things, car thieves in Trinidad and Tobago are also doing the same thing. And their trade is, within an institution of car thieves, they are able to transfer knowledge to new car thieves. So we see the same type of modus operandi taking place with certain types of vehicles. People think that the only vehicles that get stolen is the Tidas and the 80 wagons and the Axios and those kind of things, but that's not the case. New vehicles that are coming out now are being taken for different reasons, whether it's to go and put out another robbery or serious crime, or there's a specific part that they need from that particular vehicle. to give you an example, Mercedes-Benz, I think it's the EQS, or whatever you call it, the rims on those things, all right, are $50,000 a piece, you know, and people don't know these things. So when you think, well, hey, they wouldn't steal a hybrid car or electric car, check the components of that vehicle and look in other countries and see if that component is a hot commodity, because it's nothing to take off some rims and tires and send it overseas, just as it's nothing to take a car for its battery or even break any car to get the battery.
Yeah, a lot of that is happening, and you know, when we think about all of these new EVs that are coming on board, I think people believe that, you know, these vehicles are so, you know, technologically advanced that they are almost impossible to steal. But the way that people seem to be going with them, I think that's a serious misconception.
No, it is. I mean, I've come across a lot of EV owners, and you know, they believe, well, what they see in terms of the ads and in terms of what they learn on YouTube, that, oh, this car cannot be stolen, and it have all these advanced immobilizer features, and the vehicle will shut down for itself and all these different things. And then I ask a simple question: and what if somebody put a gun to your head and tell you to get out, or worse yet, they put you in the trunk? And there's no answer for that. You know, at the end of the day, you would have handed over authorized use of the vehicle, and the vehicle is not going to be able to differentiate you between the car thief. And after that, once the car thief gains access, it's a race against time. Now, I was talking to a colleague just up to yesterday, and he was saying they would really steal, you know, an EV, because we were talking about a particular brand of car in Trinidad and Tobago. I said they would really steal that. I said, well, I really don't know, but I remember a few years ago, I said the same thing about the Hyundai Ioniq, and look at where that is now. That is one of the vehicles that has entered the larceny prone category. So I don't know what's going to happen in a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. But anybody who invests that kind of money into an asset will want to make sure that if something happens to that asset, they will get it back. So my recommendation would always be install some kind of tracking system, and make sure that tracking system is not going to cause issue with the vehicle. And now we have this new narrative, which I don't understand why it's being fed the way it is being fed by these dealerships. But there's this new thing that you hear: if you install a GPS, it will void your warranty. And I find that to be so misleading, because there's one particular dealership I really laugh at. He literally tells his client the only company you could go to install a GPS is this particular guy. All right, cool. But anybody else, he will void warranties. Now, keep it in mind, he is not an authorized reseller of that particular brand. And we're talking about the Honda Vezel here now. Honda don't know him. He buying from somebody else and selling it here with a warranty. So you go buy this guy. We had 2 customers come to us from that with that particular GPS. And when we went in to see what this guy was doing, it was a horrendous installation. We took pictures and showed it to the client. So look, this is what this guy did. This is where he tapped. This is the type of tape he used. And when we were unraveling it to take it out, wires were twisted. He had strip wires and all these different things. The same things that the guy told them, this is why I want you to go buy this man, is the same thing that this man did. And they're talking about warranties. We see some of the newer dealerships, bigger dealerships, saying that if you go buy this one and go buy that one, you're going to avoid a warranty. And what they don't realize is that the Consumer Act, right, and also case law that exists in our jurisdiction and within the Commonwealth, they can't say things like that. The only way a warranty could be voided is if it is proven by the dealer, right, or the manufacturer, that whatever component that you would have installed would have caused an issue to that particular vehicle. And here what? The part that is being voided is only specific to what was damaged, not the entire vehicle. And we have some and that's law. That is, you can't argue that. And we have some people in this country who will frighten consumers to say, if it is that your vehicle is, you put in a GPS, we're going to avoid the entire warranty. So you have people outside there thinking, well, see me, I put in a GPS and driving around a car that is unprotected as a result. this is the fallout of the foolishness that takes place in Trinidad and Tobago.
Which is why I sometimes I go down the road that maybe some of these car dealerships involved in this nonsense. Because why wouldn't you selling somebody a car that's almost the price of our small house, and you're not yourself protecting it, but you're telling them your warranty will be voided if you choose to go and protect it yourself by the person you choose. I've never understood that.
Well, I can tell you, I've seen for this for a fact, because I mean, I've been involved in this industry long enough, and I have seen all the chop shops, and a lot of them. You know, we have recovered cars from chop shops all over. You know what's really interesting? And I've seen this happen with 2 dealerships in Shogunas. Well, not in Shogunas, in the central area. So let me correct, not Shogunas, central area, and I'll keep it generalized at that. And those, you know, when you have some of these garages who would polish the vehicle and prepare the vehicle and all those kind of things before a sale, and I have seen some of these roll and roll off dealerships sending cars to those places that I know were chop shops before to have their cars prepared with the pre-delivery inspection and stuff like that, the PDI process, having it going outside there to have it polished and cleaned and all that kind of thing, getting ready for delivery. And I'm going like, didn't they do their checks and realize that these people were chop shops before, or do they know this already? So now I am kind of wondering, well, how did all this happen? Is it that the chop shop, you know, purported themselves to be legitimate, to be able to get access to people's cars, and the owners of the dealerships don't know? Or is it that this is some kind of a plan that in the future they will all work in cahoots to steal, and I say steal back, or take back that vehicle from the rightful owner? We don't know. But I'm not going to name, nobody can force me to name these things as I say it on radio, but I'm saying that this is something that I am aware of. And I have been into those chop shops, and I've recovered cars in those chop shops before. And I'm seeing those relationships now. So these are things that you have to be mindful of. So, and I would suggest to anybody, if you buy a car from any particular dealer that sold you that car, all right, do not take a GPS from that same dealer. It just does not make sense, because the people who stand to benefit the most from your car being stolen, people probably who sold it to you, because they know a lot about you in the transaction, and know where you live because of your license and the information you have to give for your what's called this thing, KYC and all these different things. And then chances are they have an idea. If they put a GPS in it, they know what they're looking for. They could probably program another key that you are unaware of. So all of these things are things you have to be mindful. So always look at getting GPS from somebody else, keep it anonymous, and have it sorted out. Now, I'm not even making a pitch from my company here now, because there are other legitimate GPS companies, and I could call them Gaffer, GPS Rescue, Ario. I could call those, because I know the owners of those people, and I know, of those companies. I mean, I've met them, we talk, and I know they spend a lot of time into building out their systems, into building out their resilience. But other agencies that are coming up right now, all they're doing is advertising and selling your dreams. And I can tell you, it is so good when you're seeing, all real great customer service and the reviews and all that kind of stuff. But when you see your car get stolen, and you 2 o'clock in the morning, you're trying to call them, and they call you back at 6 o'clock to say that their phone was charging and it didn't charge properly, they didn't hear it ring and all these different things, and your car lost. You should go back up and post after about good customer service, because those people are not around when something goes wrong.
I have to admit though, the last vehicle that I had purchased some years ago, when they were installing, the GPS, the owner of the company told me, say, Wendell, get an independent one yourself to it. Don't just trust this one alone then. Do another one yourself. You understand? He did give me that kind of advice.
It's this industry, it changes. I could tell you something right now. I could talk to you today and say this is the best thing in terms of technology and all that kind of stuff. And then tomorrow something new comes out and I have to rethink my entire strategy. Now, I like to let people understand this, that what I do and what Air Support Tactical does, we are not about selling you a GPS, right? That is not what we sell. You get a GPS, yes, but that is not what you pay for. What we sit down and do is analyze Trinidad and Tobago's landscape when it comes to stolen vehicles. And we build a system that will protect our clients. And when I say system, not a GPS device now, I'm talking holistically, all right? What our service is supposed to do to protect our client, whether it is from the monitoring, the response, the drone response, whatever it is we need to do, it has to be holistic. So that if a customer calls us and says, hey, my car's stolen, we could send a team out immediately and recover that car in the shortest amount of time, because that is what protects your investment. The short space of time of recovering it after the event. The longer a car thief has your vehicle, is the more time they could have to disable whatever system is inside of it or start to take parts off of it. So by the time we reach there, parts missing, and that is undesirable. So speed matters.
Yeah.
Dirk, when you look at the industry, I mean, as the technology, it continues to evolve, do you get a feeling that car manufacturers are really keeping in pace with criminals who are trying to steal these cars? Or is it that, for example, I am thinking that a car manufacturer here, where I'm looking for a smoother ride, I'm looking for more mileage, I'm looking for this in the vehicle. Do you think protection and against thieves are a high priority for car manufacturers?
I can't speak for all car manufacturers, but I can look at where technology has been, where it is now, and I could give you a synopsis of that. Car manufacturers are concerned with vehicle security. I can see that. They put certain things inside of the vehicles because remember back in the days when it was a carbureted vehicle on key start. Then after that, they went into the coded keys, still key start, but the key had to be paired with the car, and then when you turn it, the car will only start if that key is available. After that, they went to push button start. Now they have gone to programmable keys. Now they have some vehicles even using NFC. You put a card, or you could even use your phone to start. They have been moving in a direction, and manufacturers pick up on new technology and then they build it up. But at the same time, remember, a car manufacturer, their life cycle of creating a technology and then putting it out to market takes longer, takes years than people who are involved in hacking and stuff like that. It could take them a few months. So when you build a vehicle at today, right, based on the threats we have today and some of the foreseeable threats, we have built this, it will not be able to be stolen, and they mass producing that. All that time that vehicle is being used, people are finding ways to get around the technology. Now, what we have seen coming out now, especially a lot of these new EV vehicles, they're coming out with the chance of doing firmware updates. And those firmware updates, which are remote updates, would allow the manufacturers to see what are some of the new systems that are coming out and then come out with security fixes for them, just like what happens with your phone. So some of these newer vehicles are going to have that type of technology. In fact, some vehicles are already coming in with GPS systems and internal tracking and all these different things. But here's the interesting part. Global manufacturers are not going to give that access to individuals because of the differences in data protection laws across different jurisdictions. Trinidad and Tobago, for example, our Data Protection Act, which is supposed to protect us, has not even been enacted entirely. On top of that, we don't have an information commission, at least I'm not aware of one, and there are deficiencies in our act because our act was done in 2011. The updates to these acts come out in 2019 and 2021, 23. Jamaica, Barbados, their acts have been are more in line with what you see with the UK and all that kind of stuff, and we are still backward. So even if our vehicles had those type of things inside of them, the manufacturers will be reluctant to activate that in Trinidad and Tobago because they are not protected and the consumer is not protected. So we are already behind the ball when it comes to those things.
Mm-hmm. Dirk, I have a caller online, and I think he probably has a question that he wants to find out about about what you're talking about. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, morning, gentlemen.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Mr. Ban something I've been wondering since you have engaged him. I know you said agents on the ground, of course, with their support and so on. But I'm wondering, in terms of approaching a vehicle and there's an engagement with armed persons, how does that work? And in terms of course, if you are armed people and they are engaged, of course, damage may be done to the vehicle in the recovery process, right? I'm wondering if part of its service also covers such an eventuality happening, and if no, would it be something that that they may need to consider as he explained to us, since appearing that the company is expanding its operations. Listen to the answer of you. Thanks for the engagement, gentlemen.
Thank
and
you.
Go with sports again. Our youth continuing to do it. Nikolai Blackman, a second gold medal. Jeremy Richards into the final of the 400 meter in the Commonwealth Games. Go TTO. Thanks a lot.
Great.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Thanks, Anson.
No, that's a very that's a multi-level question. So I'll see if I can break it down, because we're talking about operational, we're talking about operations, we're talking about liability, we're talking about risk. All right. So from the operations, they ask what the approach is going to be like. Keeping in mind, we are not approaching as private citizens. We are approaching as supplemental police officers. So there's a phrase inside that I want to make clear. We have all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, authority, and immunity of a police officer. So it means that if it is areas that we are involved in an operational engagement while we are conducting our duties, and we are required to use our firearms to defend ourselves, keeping in mind we are never on an offensive role, we are only in a defensive role. Our expectation when we meet an offender at a vehicle is that offender is going to surrender to an arrest. All right. If that offender decides to put up resistance, we are going to raise level of resistance to meet that offender's what that offender is offering us. Now, if that offender jumps into use of deadly force, we would have no choice but to defend ourselves with deadly force. Use of force policy, escalating force. Our officers are trained to de-escalate the situation, because you may meet an offender who may very well have a firearm, but does not want to use his firearm, all right, because he knows it might be an exercise in futility. You have a firearm, you wear a t-shirt and a short pants, and what shows up with you are men with bigger firearms than you, and they have full body armor. What is the sense shooting behind them? So we have an opportunity to de-escalate. Now, so that's the first thing that we'll try to protect both our officers, which is our first priority, the customer vehicle, which is the second priority in terms of damage. So those videos that you see where police officers showed up and started to shoot at the vehicle and all them kind of thing, that's the Trinidad Police Service. That's them. That's not how we do business. All right. And I'm not saying that they're wrong or anything like that. All I'm saying is that we don't operate like that. Now, there are some people who are going to argue and say, well, hey, arrest, what arrest are you talking about? In the length of time I have been doing this, we have arrested 9 people. We have had 2 convictions because of the arrest. Others are before the courts, and that is not really our business. The police has handled that. But 2 people have been convicted because of an arrest that we have made here. And we have done so without any casualty, without any injury, and we have recovered firearms in those arrests as well. So it means that our operations do work. Now, to answer the question of, so I've dealt with operations and risk, but let me deal with liability. With liability now, if it is that something happens and we do have to shoot at the person, we engage in a firefight to protect ourselves, and the vehicle is damaged, glass broken, stuff like that. Part of the operations, or part of what we do, we also ensure that the liability part, customers understand the risk, that the liability, falls on insurance. Now, if it is your insurance, which is supposed to, according to the insurance policies, your insurance is supposed to pay for those type of repairs, because really and truly it's not a fault situation, it's a part of the circumstances at that point in time. If, however, we are at fault for something that we did out of negligence, this is the reason why you take out insurance as a company, business liability. So those are the ways those things are taken care of.
Yeah, there's a question on the chat here for you, Dirk. If your service is a one-time payment or monthly payment, and how much is it? You care to share that information?
Oh, sure, of course. So when we started this, we decided we didn't want this monthly payment foolishness. So that is something that we were the ones who started a 1 year, 5 year, 10-year plan and things like that. Everybody else now is copying it. And the funny part about it is that what they're copying right now, they're not even understanding why it's like that, and they're going to run themselves into problems in the future. Right? Now, from our perspective, we put out right now a 2-year, a 5-year, and a 10-year plan. The 2-year is normally $24.50. The 5-year is $31.50, and the 10-year is $39.99. What that means is that during that 2, 5, or 10-year period, you don't have any renewals to pay. If your car was stolen 20 times, we recover it 20 times. You don't pay anything extra. There's no renewals. Now, this is different to a company who might be selling something for $17.95 and telling you it's forever, or somebody for $2,000 and telling you it's forever. But when you look at what it is you're getting from those companies, you're getting just GPS tracking. The GPS tracking is the cheapest part or the most inexpensive part of the service. When it's time for you to call because you're in trouble, there's nobody to answer the phone. When it's time for you to wait for somebody to go out and recover the car, they have nobody to send. They call on the police. What really you're paying for? You could call the police on your own. You could basically, for the same things that I see in other companies doing, you could buy your own GPS off of Amazon, put a SIM card inside of it, and track your car, call the police on your own, and spend less money than what these other companies are doing. However, Air Support Tactical maintains a 24-hour command center. We have staff on duty, which are rostered. We maintain our own response team. That is staff on duty. They are rostered 24 hours a day. Vehicles, communication equipment, drones, and insurance. Drones are not cheap. And we don't fly drones that you buy in hobby shops. Our systems are imported directly from the manufacturer at $500,000 a piece. So the amount of resources that are available to us, we focus on stolen vehicle recovery. And that is why our cars, we get them back the fastest recovery ever done in Trinidad and Tobago. Nobody can beat that. And if anybody else try to beat it, here's what's going on. I want them to prove it. I could show you the videos of ours. 4 minutes, 42 seconds from the minute we left our office to recovering that particular vehicle. From the minute we got the call to when we left was 2 minutes. So if you want to add the whole thing, from the time we got the call to the time we had the car, was 6 minutes and 42 seconds. That is. So
you just give me an idea there, Duke, why you probably should, maybe in the next time we have this, probably put up a couple of those recovery videos for people to see what you actually do, because you're saying for under $4,000, I could have a protection for 10 years from you?
Yeah.
Wow,
10 years. Imagine you buy a brand new car today. You put that inside of your car. And here's the funny part about it. Here's the savings here. Air Support Tactical is known by nearly all of the insurance companies. And we have agreements with many of them where you get an additional 15% and 20% discount on your insurance. Right? Now, imagine you take a system from us for $4,000. You buy a car, and that car, I think the premium might be, with the discount might work out about $8,000. Without us, it might be about $10,000. So you're saving $2,000 the first year, the second year, the third year, all the way to the 10 years. You're saving money, more money than what it is you pay for the system over a period of time. That is why I created the 5-year and 10-year plan.
Yeah.
So when the insurance company sees that, they could say, well, okay, and every year they don't have to ask you the question, because the certificate we would give you when you request a certificate for insurance purposes will show, yes, your plan is going to be for this, so the insurance company don't have to be asking all the time.
Yeah. And it makes
You know what I was wondering, Dirk?
Sorry, go ahead, Richard.
You know what I was wondering, Dirk, and I hear you, and I think that's an excellent plan structure. So because as a consumer, you don't want to be harassed by another annual payment, because you have so many to remember. It's like, oh God, another one. So it's great. I think that's a great opportunity for people to purchase 5-year and 10-year plans. What I was wondering though, in terms of talking about the GPS, other providers of GPS in Trinidad and Tobago, is the industry regulated by any legislation that you have to be approved to be a GPS provider? or it's just a free for all?
It is a free for all, and that's the sad part. See, there's no category listed in law for GPS company. There's none, and I hope that the government looks into this and makes some changes. There is, however, for supplemental police agencies. So we are primarily, I went from being just an IT company doing GPS before to becoming a supplemental police agency, all right, so that we could do our own response and all them kind of thing, and left everybody else behind. All of the other companies who were GPS companies with me when I first started, I left them behind, became a supplemental police agency specializing in GPS tracking. Now, 15 years later, I'm seeing these companies popping up and all of them using stolen vehicle recovery. And I inquisitive, so I will investigate, pull everybody files and their notice of directors, which are public, which are posted online and everything. And the people who belong to these companies and don't have any experience whatsoever in security, they were businesswomen selling handbag and lipstick and all of a sudden doing GPS. And I will go as far as to say there's one particular company, right? And they love to post about or something, but I always say, you know when you're doing something right, when the only person who bad talking here is a bandit. You understand? Because one of the principles of that trucking company, right? He has a firearm conviction, a 2019 firearm conviction. Police found firearms and ammunition on him and was convicted of it. Not charged, convicted. And he opened a GPS company in 2021 and selling GPS something outside here, and nobody says anything. It is a free for all. So, and some people believe that somehow we are not only level playing field. We are not. We are not. Air support tactical is above everybody else. We have gone the way of getting our insurance in place, getting our approvals in place. We have gone into the manufacturer side of things. And now we even move into other jurisdictions. And as a big announcement, we go in Canada, right? We already established in the United States, and now we go in Canada. So the company has been expanding globally, right here from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm proud to be a Trinidadian right now because of what it is I am accomplishing, right? But these other companies outside here.
Yeah. As we go, because we are almost out of time actually. Let's just let people know how to get in contact with you. I mean, we have the numbers up on the screen for a little while, but you do the wrap first, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Well, as I'll close off with this, right now we have a 2-for-1 special, and people have been asking us for the 2-for-1 special for the past few months now. Where you get 2 devices for the price of one. In this particular case, is the same 10-year plan that I spoke about for $39.99. So for $39.99, you're getting 2 devices. It comes like you're paying $2,000 for a 10-year plan, and you get everything from the tracking and all that kind of stuff. But you have to come as a pair. So if it is you have a friend looking for GPS, or you need to get 2 GPS, this is the time to come. And we do have wireless and wired options for people who are interested. So if you want to get in contact with us, you can reach out to us at 235-5477, and it is better to WhatsApp us than call, because the WhatsApp is fully monitored 24/7. It has AI as well that can give you immediate answers. You could do your bookings on WhatsApp, so you don't really have to stay on the phone very long with anybody. It's all automatic and it works. So feel free to reach out to us.
And in this case, it doesn't matter the age of the vehicle, right?
No, it doesn't matter. The main thing is you must be the owner. So you have to provide proof of ownership, most times certified copy, transfer receipt, or some authorizing letter from the true owner.
You mean I can't take Richard's vehicle and come and get it and put it on it so I can check on it, check up and see where you're going on there?
Not unless Richard sent us a letter letting you approve to do that. We are very stringent.
You hear his intent, Duke? You hear it?
Yeah. I'll look out for him. Don't worry, I'll call him.
Thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much.
No problem. All right, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. Of course, this is where we are wrapping up the breakfast show this morning. And of course, reminding you that New Era TT. Oh, why am I saying New Era TT? NETT Radio TT. .com is where you go to listen to the excellent programming throughout the day, as well as NETT Radio Trinidad on your smart devices. But when you're on your smart devices, you say play NETT Radio Trinidad on TuneIn, and you're good to go wherever you are on planet Earth. You can take us in and take us taking the excellent programming throughout the day. The Breakfast Show will rejoin you tomorrow morning, and it's Friday tomorrow because the weekend begins tonight, people, at a second after midnight. Can you believe it? So, of course, tomorrow is Friday, and as we bring in the weekend, African Emancipation Day on Saturday, and of course, Hillary's benefit concert on Sunday at St. Francois Girls Convent in Belmont. So, looking forward to all of that, and of course, our cooler cruise on the 15th of August, which everybody should be looking forward to, and only getting paid tomorrow, whether you're a pensioner or anything else, you're getting paid tomorrow. So you have no excuse. Put aside the money for the tickets, even if you cannot come. Go and send somebody to buy tickets. Are you hearing me? If you want to keep this show on air, go and spend some money to support. Thank you. I'm done.
I don't know how to answer that, no? Go in the bank, let somebody carry you, stick the little one and the little 200, 400 in your bosom, and say, right, this is for the NETT show. This is for the breakfast show. I ain't want to hear nothing.
Cruise.
Cooler, right. No, there is for the show. In other words, that is for the tickets. This is to keep the show on air. That is your focus. Forget the cruise. No, this is to keep the show on air. This is to purchase the ticket to keep the show on air. That's all.
Excellent.
God, trust me, your life gonna be miserable, when we come okay.
I really don't want to do
you wouldn't know what to do with yourself between 6 and 8 anymore.
Telling you.
6 and 9, sorry.
You just staring in the couple corners of the wall. You know what's that? Oh. Anyway. We don't mean to sound like we are bullies, but we are.
Oh my word.
Have a wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God.
Yes, remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. You have been watching and listening to
The Breakfast Show.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here, we bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned on. From Morocco's Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The Breakfast Show and